welcome to 50/50 Booking. You've got myself, who's got no idea what's happened this week because I've had a very busy week so far. And you have Aaron here, which is Kieran McCullers. And can Aaron remember what's going on? I don't know. Let's ask him about his charity and maybe he can remember.
I know that I'm fundraising for our Alzheimer's Society this month. I did a 12-hour stream yesterday, so I went to bed for 3 hours at about 7 o'clock this morning. And I've been awake ever since. So as far as WWE is concerned, I can't really remember much, but luckily I have notes.
Well, fortunately for me, I haven't seen any of it at all, so I've got no idea. Yes!
I mean, if you haven't seen this week and you haven't seen, I'm guessing you haven't seen the last week either.
I know bits and pieces, but mostly no.
Not gonna lie, the past 2 weeks storyline-wise and also wrestling-wise on a whole have probably been the best 2 weeks of WWE in the past 6 months, possibly.
Yeah, there is one thing I know, and it's something I will be talking about when we get to that point. It's to do with Crown Jewel.
Yes, something that was announced earlier on today after a confident conference in Las Vegas.
I knew about it before they announced it.
Yeah.
Because they made certain people aware of it, and some of those people couldn't keep their gobs shut.
Not surprising.
So,
yeah. I can't imagine who those certain people are.
I'm not elaborating more on that because I like finding out shit, so I don't want to get anyone in trouble. Besides, it's not like they all went backstage in a fight, you know.
Oh no, it's not an AEW thing.
After all, no, there wasn't any kind of punk there, was there?
Of course not.
Or any Bucks?
Or any Omega complaints?
Oh, you mean Omega the Dog Whisperer? Do you know
no
about this, by the way?
Yeah, I know that.
But apparently, his side of it is all he did was try to get the dog out of the room. Wasn't even his fucking dog.
Yeah. It's like that woman from Moana. If anything happens, blame it on the pig, or in this case, the dog.
Yeah. Something I am going to address before we actually do start with Vivid Wrestling, well, the actual shows, I mean, and that's Malachi Black.
Yeah.
Gone to the conditional release, and there's a lot of people who thought it was one thing. It's not that. It's not that he was unhappy. It's not a WWE thing either. It is for what they would call mental health reasons. And all I'm going to say about that is good luck to the guy, and people give him some privacy. The man needs to sort himself out and get himself back and ready to entertain everyone again and have a nice, happy life. So leave him to it. Good luck to the guy.
Yep.
So,
well,
I know it's your favourite, so I thought it was worth mentioning.
On the Malachi Black or Tommy End side of things, should I say? Selena Vega. Can we talk about her briefly and what's going on?
Yeah. Of course you can.
She hasn't been televised lately, and social-wise, she's been spending a lot of time with her partner, Tommy End, and they're on two very separate companies. So I'm just confused as to whether or not both companies are okay with this and whether or not there's been heat backstage for it or not, because I haven't heard anything. And
AEW are fine with it. That much I do know, because AEW don't have an issue with that, with when there's couples like that. They never have done, and particularly with Tommy End's mental health thing as well.
yeah,
Which is one of the reasons they can grant it in the release, because they're not generally, they don't do that when people are in storylines, active ongoing storylines. But
which he is, of course.
Yeah, I mean, his faction still is, of course, but I guarantee you, WWE wouldn't be giving it to him.
No.
I mean, actually, no. Be more fair about it. Hunter maybe would. I mean, Vince certainly wouldn't have done, but one thing, I think Hunter's more likely to at least have considered it, or at least offer him a break, maybe.
Possibly.
Because there are people out there who are like, why did you just have a break? Why do you have a release? I think we know why.
Yeah.
Because if it's just a break, it means at some point you're going to feel the obligation to go back, right? And mentally, that's not always a good thing for somebody to have him the back of their mind going, I've only got so long I can do this, and then I'm going to have to return. So then you're not focusing on what you need to be doing. You're thinking about, I've got to go back to work.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like the thing where he's got plenty of options as well if he didn't want to go back to that company either, even though he's on a storyline.
He still has the option to even go back to that company at some point. But I think that's why it was a release rather than a break, because I think it's a case of mentally just clearing his head so he doesn't have to worry about commitments. Because as of the past weekend, I think it was, where he did a match for Prestige, he's got no more bookings, so he's completely free to sort everything out.
I mean, there's also the side of things where
but you mentioned Selena, and I think they would have been supportive of Selena being there for Tommy, so I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah, and I mean, Triple H can understand that with the whole marriage thing, and for better, for worse and stuff. Rich or poor, you got to stand by your significant other.
Well, especially as both of them are, both Hunter and obviously Stephanie are in the business, so I think that also helps with that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that might be why you've seen a lot less of Zelina Vega lately, because I think she's probably they're trying to accommodate her being around Tommy a bit more, I think, maybe.
Yeah, it's not even like just on his socials though. She's been a lot more prominent in his branding and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
And there's been like a bit of a makeover done as well, but I don't know whether or not that's going to be a problem down the line or something for WWE. But I mean, it shouldn't be.
I can't see it being an issue, honestly. Particularly of what's going on at the moment. I mean, maybe in the future, possibly, but at the same time,
I mean,
I give Hunter a lot of shit, but Hunter's not Vince, so I think he's much more. I wouldn't say flexible. Flexible is not the right word. He's much more understanding is probably the best word. Having been through, obviously, stuff he's been through as well, especially in recent years, and having run NXT for that time as well.
Yeah.
And also thanking his lucky stars it isn't Velveteen Dream.
Even though his replacement showed up on NXT this week.
But I guarantee you, no matter how bad that replacement is, it's still better than Velveteen Dream. I'm talking about as in the real guy, the real life person, not the wrestler. Just to be clear to anyone who's wondering what I'm referring to.
But also, even though like we're not even in the same like league stream wise, or like even in the same like conversation, and I don't mean this as in I'm better. I mean this as in he's better. Malachi Black or Tommy End or whatever persona you want to call them. He's also a Twitch streamer, and sometimes
Tommy End is his real name, so possibly that's the name to use at the moment.
Yeah, so Tommy End is also a Twitch streamer, and
Yes, he is.
I can speak from personal experience that streaming can also get in your head as well, mental health wise, especially if you're constantly focusing on numbers and stuff like that. It can really have a part on you mentally. So
that could be another reason why Selena's around more.
Yeah, it could be a factor that he's still streaming. I saw him stream a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So he's still using that as an outlet for possibly like aggression or like emotion, because everybody needs an escape from the real world.
I think he's also one of these people who probably just enjoys talking to his fans as well.
Yeah, he's generally, like, from what I've seen interview wise and such, he's a general person, like a generally nice person, and he adores his fans.
Yeah, I've never heard a bad story about Tommy End. I was like, so that right there should tell you a lot.
Yeah,
because generally you hear bad stories of some kind.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it this way: the guy got already set up a 5-year contract after only a year in it, right? You don't give those to arseholes.
No.
I think that kind of tells a lot right there.
Yeah, so you keep them and make them worth their money.
Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah. I mean, you mentioned obviously Tommy's a Twitch streamer as well, but I think what may help Tommy is to be. I don't mean to sound too big-headed, but because it's probably going to sound that way, but it's not. More like how I look at this. I do this purely for fun. Because that's all I do this for. Is it's fun. I don't have the time to dedicate to anything else with this. This is literally fun. I come on here, I speak to you. We chit chat for 2-3 hours, whatever it may be, and cool. It's a good way to talk about stuff that I enjoy with somebody else who also enjoys it, and it's good. And then possibly chat a bit throughout the week or message throughout the week, and but obviously I'm self-employed. I run a business. I don't have a lot of time to myself. No. So I think I kind of understand Tommy's schedule in that way, because wrestlers are independent contractors, kind of like myself. So it's something I understand probably better than a lot of people do, or anyone else who works as a freelancer. We probably have a better idea of what wrestlers go through.
Mm-hmm. But it's not only the mental toll; it's also the physical toll that, like, you've got to think about as well. The injuries piling up and stuff like that. It gets in your head as to how long you can carry on for.
Right. Which is also something else I can relate to with them with, because I do weddings and events. I travel around a lot, evidenced by this current week going on. Wrestlers travel all the time for what they do. They travel for their bookings to the events they book for, which is all over the place, whether it's trains, planes, whatever. As Alan's aware of, I don't know, obviously all the listeners will be aware. Let's see, what are we today? Sunday. Friday I was in Sheffield. Saturday I was in Birmingham. I'm now in London, and tomorrow I'm going to be in Kent.
Yep.
That's just how it works for what I do. And wrestlers' bookings work similar ways. They'll get booked, and there'll be this town this week, this town this week. I mean, AEW's wrestlers tend to be a bit more lighter on that, because they're much more in control of what they can do. But before WWE lightened the house show schedule, it used to be every other night, essentially, or even every night in some cases. And that's draining and taxing physically, mentally. You're more prone to be injured. You're more likely to hurt yourself. I mean, the job you used to do with the moving, you do that day in, day out, you are going to pick up injuries. And you did.
Yeah.
So, and then of course there's the mental aspect of, if it's not a good place to work, it becomes very draining mentally. Or if you become unhappy with the work, or you want to do something slightly different, or if you want to do a different job.
Yeah.
Until you're free of it, mentally you're just always going to feel a bit. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a emotional, mental battle. There's always going to be something that, like, tries and stops you from doing what you enjoy doing. Whether that be a person, an emotion, physical, like, problem.
Yeah. So in Aaron's case, it's Kaylee that stops him doing everything.
Fuck you, Peter.
No, he's your fiance, not me. That's cheating.
Not if it's consensual, it's not.
You're assuming I'd say yes.
No, Aaron would say yes.
I'm not saying
What
anything.
exactly?
They even made my camera come unfocused.
The camera's saying, make the bad one stop. I'm sorry, camera, but I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe your camera's a bit tired from doing all that streaming last night.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I had it for nearly 18 months, so it's probably due an upgrade.
Probably just needs a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
Speaking of rest, we should probably move on to Raw.
Yeah. It's almost like you're trying to depress me right now because having not seen any of this stuff, I feel quite happy.
Oh, it kicked off with a rivalry that kind of needs a rest.
Oh,
and
cool.
Being as Peter hasn't seen WWE this week, we're playing a game of Peter guesses what. So each episode, I'm going to ask Peter what kicks off the show. I'm going to ask him who wins each match, and at the end of the show, I'm going to tell him who won, either him or WWE Creative.
Let's be honest, WWE Creative never win because it's shit. That's not even there.
So, what do you think started us off? I gave you a little bit of a hint, but who do you think kicked off Raw?
Oh, everyone needs a fucking rest. Well, no, I'd say needs a fucking rest. And that's fucking Judgment Day and Rey Mysterio. That needs a fucking rest.
You're not wrong. You are wrong. It wasn't.
I was going to say I didn't think it was that because they would probably have had that later on. Fucking hell. Is it Miz and Loomis?
No, it was Rollins and Riddle.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So Seth Rollins kicked off the show with an in-ring segment and welcomed everyone to the show.
The thing is, that one's so bad, I'd actually forgotten it was still a thing.
Yeah. He said he was hosting the show that evening and asked about karma. He said Riddle wanted a rematch and Rollins basically wasn't interested. But apparently the crowd was. But Rollins said he was more interested in gaining gold. Talking about championship, obviously. Then was interrupted by Riddle, who said, "Bro," dropped the mic and ran to the ring, and then there was a whole brawling thing. And Seth Rollins managed to escape, just to be interrupted by the Judgment Day.
Oh my God.
So I wasn't wrong.
Mysterio wasn't involved in this at all.
Oh, okay. So partially, okay, all right.
So
does that mean Seth Rollins wants a shot at the 24/7 title?
No, something else happens later on.
Okay, right, go on.
So the brawl finished. Judgment Day intervened, and they asked Riddle to join the Judgment Day because of Priests and Riddle's history in NXT. Apparently, even though I wasn't aware that there was much of a history, to be honest.
There isn't one.
No, I didn't think so. I thought I was like having a stroke or something, or like a case of memory loss.
Not an on-screen one, maybe. I mean, there might have been a training one, maybe, but not an on-screen one.
No, I mean, if they explained it behind the curtains or something, possibly, but they didn't. They said it was a history that them two knew each other more than like
Jesus.
colleagues, like
Jesus
friends.
was involved, Kaylee. I'm pretty sure Jesus was not involved.
So, I mean, I like this angle, them trying to branch out to Riddle, because it's not something that I don't think anybody saw coming.
No, it's something different. I respect that. I'm guessing he said no.
But yeah, Riddle said thanks, but no thanks, because he still wanted to deal with Seth. Judgment Day didn't take this too well.
No,
Um,
really?
So Riddle floored both of them, and this led to a match between Riddle and Balor.
I thought you were going to tell me it was going to lead to a match between Rhea Ripley and Riddle. I would have been interested in that.
Who do you think won? Bonus points if you can guess the ending.
Oh, Rhea Ripley.
She wasn't ringside for this entire segment.
Oh.
She didn't come out with the Judgment Day at all.
Oh, that's right. I know what she was doing. That's fine.
Blowing up Dominik Mysterio.
Something like that, yeah. Let's see. Balor won because Priest cheated, blah, blah, blah.
Balor did win, so you got that right. But Seth Rollins and Riddle the match because Priest did try to get involved, but got jumped from behind by Rey Mysterio and got chased out of the arena.
Okay, at least that makes sense. The rest of this is fucking stupid.
So, then we had a Damage Control interview. That was okay. Not much hype about this, to be honest, and it fell flat. Nothing was gained from this really at all.
Was there supposed to be a purpose to this interview? Do you think?
No.
Okay, so it was just them waffling. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So then what followed that was we had a Dominik Mysterio segment where he finally spoke about what happened at Clash of the Castle and also spoke to his dad too. Like not in person, he like spoke to his dad.
He made a statement addressed to
yeah, Ray. He addressed his dad. Yeah. He blamed his dad for making him be a wrestler. He said he wasn't a baby boy anymore. He was a man. And Rhea Ripley whispered something into his ear, and that was the end of the segment.
She whispered the command word.
Yeah. Then we had a Gargano package that was okay, and Theory interrupted it and told us that Gargano's debut on the main roster would be against Chad Gable. No idea why Theory had to tell us this.
Because him and Gargano are feuding, would be my guess.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a pitiful feud, though, to be honest. It's like kind of jealousy on Theory's part, I suppose, for Gargano getting spotlight.
Well, there is that, I suppose, but it is a bit odd.
Yeah. So then we had Damage Control, Dakota Kai and Io Shirai versus Gonzalez and Aaliyah in an NXT in a tag team title match. Sorry. It was a rematch because Dakota Kai was pinned when she wasn't the legal competitor in the finals of the tournament that they held last week.
Oh yeah, I remember. I heard about that.
Yeah, Aaliyah was hurt and isolated early on. So, who do you think won this one?
Damage Control.
Yep. So, Aaliyah was hurt and isolated early on by Damage Control, and not much changed. And Damage Control won. We then had another Ray and Dominik Mysterio segment. Except this one was in person, and Dominik was standing in the locker room, and Ray was trying to talk to him, and Dominik was just ignoring him, and then Rhea Ripley spoke to Ray, told him to fuck off, basically, and then this segment ended. Ray said that there was no going back if he had this match with Edge during the show, and left it at that. Dominik didn't look like he cared, to be honest, and to be honest, can't blame him, really.
Because neither did you, right?
Not really.
Yeah.
Following that, we had Chad Gable versus Johnny Gargano.
Your favourite.
This was a first time ever match, even though I'm pretty sure it happened in NXT at one point.
No, the tag teams fought each other, but I don't think they had a singles match.
I'm pretty sure they did. It was Gargano versus Gable, back when he was Chad Gable, and he was part of American Alpha. They had a one-on-one to decide the stipulation for their tag team match. It was DIY versus American Alpha, but the week beforehand they had Gargano versus Chad Gable for the stipulation match. I could be wrong. It could have been Jason Jordan and Gargano.
Or Ciampa. It could have been against Ciampa.
Could have been, but I'm pretty sure Gargano was in the match. It was either Gable or it was Jason Jordan. Obviously, before he broke his neck.
No, they hadn't fought each other before. I checked.
Okay.
I didn't look up the result either.
So, who do you think won this one?
It's a debut, so Gargano.
Yep.
It's one of those things. Theory. And probably Otis. Probably any other amount of shit hosiery probably went on.
Well, Gargano managed to get away from Otis after the match, just to be drilled in the back by Theory with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
I called it.
But guess what followed that up?
An advert?
Kind of
Was
weirdly,
it?
Yeah, but then they came straight back afterwards, and he was still waiting in the ring. But I was more talking about after the advert.
I was going to say, it wasn't picture in picture, was it?
No, there was no picture in picture during Raw.
You're thinking, thank fuck, aren't you?
There was no picture in picture this whole week.
Wow.
All the week before.
Hey, somebody's listening to you.
I don't think. There might have been one last week, but there was none this week.
But I'm a big fan of not having it. I think it's annoying as fuck.
You'll also be interested to know that actually, no, I'm not going to talk about that yet. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm guessing we'll say something else later. Right, so they come back. So is it Gargano that's still in the ring?
No, Theory.
Theory. Okay, Theory's still in the ring.
Fuck's sake.
I'll give you a clue. He's bragging about how great he was and how he's the future of the company.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody fucking interrupted and then had an issue with him saying that shit.
You'd probably be happy about this, to be honest.
Yeah, it depends what it fucking is, doesn't it? There's a few people it could be. It's just trying to look at which one it would be. So WWE wrestlers I'd actually care about if they told me to shut the fuck up. Trying to think their names. Interesting song you got there, Kaylee. It's the song of the secret orgasm.
100%.
Let's see.
5, 4.
Now I was gonna say again. I can't think of who it'd be.
Kevin Owens.
Thank fuck for that. At least it was somebody worthwhile. I would have
So-
been more pissed off if it had been somebody really stupid.
So this is like a whole thing. So I'm going to go back to the Chad Gable versus Gargano match, just like to talk you through what happened. I mean, the main question about this match was kind of ring rust. Would Gargano still be Gargano in the ring?
Yeah.
Well,
I at least understand because it has been a while since you get wrestled. So.
yeah, I mean it's been 9 months, but there was no ring rust at all.
Some wrestlers are like that.
Yeah. Gable had Johnny down, however, after Gargano was caught with a rope-assisted dragon screw leg whip. And it tweaked his knee. Gable tried everything, including a cliffhanger DDT and a really cool ocean cyclone suplex that I haven't seen Gable use in a long time.
It's always good to see people rotate and throwing moves occasionally that you don't either see a lot or they've not done before.
I mean, I feel like these two kind of brought out the best in each other because they're both very technical. So seeing these two actually go at it was actually quite fun to watch.
I think these are the kind of guys you give them 20 minutes on a show and you can just like go, off you go.
Yeah. I mean, even with the odds against Gargano, he managed to get the win, obviously.
Yeah.
And like I said, he got away from Otis and Gable just to get laid out by Theory, which left Theory in the ring bragging about how great he was. Then Owens' music came out. The weird thing about the segment was, though, Owens hyped up Theory and said he hoped that he was the future. But he basically needed to pull his finger out of his arse and get on with it.
I kind of get it, though, in a way. Because, how do I put this? And it's something I kind of approve of, I'll explain.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that when you're going to be in a match with someone, or if you're going to have a feud with somebody, the worst thing you can do is make them look like, say, they're shite, or they're no good at wrestling. Because if you beat them, you're not beating anyone. But if you make somebody sound good and you beat them, then you look better.
I mean, I can go into detail about the promo if you want, because I mean,
sure.
Basically, Theory was in the ring where he bragged about ruining Gargano's moment, which for some reason drew the ire of KO, who came out. Theory said, "Shut up." He was tired of his moment being taken by other people, even though he just bragged about taking someone else's, which kind of made no sense. And KO said he didn't care. That's not. Theory said he needed to shut up and go away because he was the future, and KO said that wasn't the case anymore about him being the future because obviously there's different leadership now. KO pointed out. Theory pointed out KO's flaws, and KO said he had a title handed to him once, but never again will that happen, and he doesn't want it to either. He went and had a passionate promo about him and Gargano being the heart and soul of this business. Well, him and Gargano and people like them.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great promo from KO, and he asked Theory. He was begging and pleading with Theory to prove him wrong. about Theory not being the future, and Theory just literally looked at him, flexed, pointed at himself, and said, "You'll never be like me, Kevin." And Owens said, "Well, that didn't work. Maybe this will," and slapped Theory straight across the face.
At least that's in keeping with Kevin Owens' character and the theories.
Yeah, I mean, it all broke down between the two of them after that, of course. And Theory actually also managed to evade the stunner, but KO actually broke his nose, from what I've been told.
What, KO's nose got broken, or
No, Theory's
Theory's
nose got broken by KO.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, obviously, but I can believe it.
Yeah. We then had an NXT announcement for some reason that the tag team championships would be the tag team championship match between the Creeds and Pretty Deadly would be held in a steel cage. This was just randomly snuck in there.
Why was it on Raw? Would be my question.
I mean, look who's in charge now. Promoting your other show on the main show is probably like it's not a bad idea. I mean, if you want to get people interested, tell them that there's a steel cage match opening your show that's going to be airing in a couple of days. Maybe it'll get you more viewers.
I suppose it's the same network, so that at least makes sense.
Yeah.
So that I kind of get. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Next, we had a Bianca Belair Raw Women's Championship Open Challenge.
Why? Would be my question to that. Why?
Well, Sonya went out to the ring and said she wanted to be ready and stay ready, so she was here for an open challenge. And said, so who's it gonna be?
Okay.
Who do you reckon?
Oh, who I think answered the her challenge.
Yeah. Do you want me to narrow it down to do you want me to narrow it down to 4 people for you?
That, yeah, because fuck knows otherwise, yeah, it would help.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do one better. Not a Raw person.
For some reason, I didn't think it was, but that still helps.
Not NXT either.
Well, that only leaves one thing now that UK's gone. So, so SmackDown.
I wish it was someone from NXT UK. It would have been better.
Agreed.
Yes.
Let's see. SmackDown women's wrestlers. Are there any?
I can think of a Rousey one.
It's not that one, obviously. Yeah. I kind of discounted her because I didn't think it would be. So, Lacey Evans.
No. Ready for this?
Sasha Banks.
No. Do you want me to tell you?
Go ahead. It would be fucking stupid. I know it.
Sonya Deville.
Told you it'd be fucking stupid.
Oh, now you're being salty.
So,
I'm always salty.
Oh.
Sonya Deville didn't come out with her ring entrance either. She came out with a microphone in hand, berating Belair about how she cost her old job as general manager. So they actually went back to previous story.
Well, that's definitely to do with who's in charge now, because obviously,
It's a step in the right direction, in my opinion.
yeah, continuity is a good thing to have. Please use it more.
And because Belair was kind of taken back by it, she just picked up a microphone and told her to shut the fuck up, get in the ring so they could get it on. Which I liked. I mean, that's the only part about this that I actually thought was okay. But who do you think won?
Bianca.
Yep.
I actually, it took me a minute as I was thinking, are you actually asking me who won?
I said I was going to ask for each match.
Yeah, but I was thinking, really? That?
I mean, during the match, Corey Graves asked the same question I think everybody was thinking. Where the fuck's Bailey in this? Because she pinned Bianca 2 weeks ago at Clash of the Castle, and they've been pushing that in her face storyline-wise for weeks, and now there was an open challenge and she didn't go for it?
Apparently Bailey couldn't find a microphone to come out and talk. I'm assuming the whole thing with Bailey is Bailey will do it when Bailey is most advantageous to Bailey.
Yeah, but here's the stupid thing. After Corey Graves asked that, after this match was over and done with, Bailey came out with a microphone and she said she was inspired by Kai and Io's championship win, damage control jumped Belair from behind, but ended up having the tables turned on them by Bliss and Oscar. I mean, this was okay, but nothing really came from this at all.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of nothing really coming from anything, we had Omos's return.
Oh, the joy!
And he was in a 2-on-1 handicap match versus some local talent in the form of Cash Barazi and Ryan Toombs in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Who do you think won?
Omos?
Yeah. It was a strong return for him. His wrestling repertoire has actually expanded as well.
I suspect the reason he hasn't seen for a while was I imagine he's been having lessons.
I can imagine who the said lessons are from. Would you like to hazard a guess?
I'm guessing a certain bearded gentleman who probably recently returned.
No.
It makes sense because it's a similar style.
I can see where you're going, but his repertoire speaks otherwise.
Well, I've not seen I haven't seen his match since he returned, so I don't know, obviously.
Well, I can tell you this much. His repertoire now includes Snake Eyes and the Big Boot.
Oh, yeah, to do with Snake Eyes. I would have got it from that.
Yeah. It's the Snake Eyes into the Big Boot. That's
literally right there. Yeah, because there's only one wrestler who does it that way, and that's Kevin Nash.
And also the Punjabi Plunge. Yeah, that really threw me.
I can see why you'd give him that move, though. I mean, it is weird, but because of his size, that works for him.
They're mixing Undertaker's moveset and the Great Khali's movesets together.
But because that's the thing, though, because Almost is a big guy, I think it works for him that way.
I never thought the movesets would actually work, to be honest. I
think they do for the right. I think they would for the person who can make them flow better. But the Snake Eyes into the Big Boot is a Kevin Nash thing, by the way. It's not an Undertaker thing.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware.
I do mean the Snake Eyes off the turnbuckle on the top rope.
Okay, just to make sure we're on about the same thing. The one where we got him over the shoulder and dropped them face first onto the buckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that because that's Snake Eyes. Yeah, that's a Kevin Nash deal. That is that whole sequence you just described.
Yeah, the Undertaker used to do it as well.
Nash did it first. It's a Nash move.
Oh, well, the more you know.
So I think that may be where Mark picked it up from, honestly.
Hmm.
I mean, it works. It works for Mark. It works for Undertaker too. So, but
Yeah.
Nash used to do it a lot as Diesel,
Yeah.
and he did it when he was in WCW quite a lot as well. So there is that.
It'll be interesting to see how his moveset expands on whether or not, following on from whether or not he actually faces somebody that WWE want him to actually fight. But it's also good to see him back, especially with Braun Strowman coming back in the picture.
Yeah, I actually would probably get him to have matches for Strowman.
I mean, I can see these two.
I think I would. I think I would have matches with him as before, because I think that will actually help him.
I mean, I can see these two tagging. It won't be the first time that WWE have put two giants together. And these two would actually he'd probably learn a lot more from him than you would MVP.
Right, but here's my thing with that, right? Do that, but have them have the singles matches first.
Yeah.
Because you get more out of it if you do it that way.
Hey, Kira. Welcome in.
Or you can have them. Or the other thing, of course, is you can have them be the tag team first, and then fall out and have the matches afterwards. But he's already got MVP as a manager, so that would be the weird way of doing it. So the smart thing would be MVP making a deal with Strowman to eventually, after they've had matches, to be a team.
I mean, you've got a gateway for this right now as well, if they really wanted to, because of Strowman's feud or problem that he kind of has at the moment with Alpha Academy.
Well, there you go. But you never know with Strowman, because he does like to control his narrative.
Doesn't he just?
Yay! I got it in there.
So, following this, we had Edge and Mysterio in a segment, which was okay. Edge understood but didn't care what Mysterio was going through. He said that Dom brought this on himself, blah, blah, blah.
And Edge would be correct.
Yeah. So,
by the way, before we go on, do you know what Dom's command word is from Maria? What she whispers in his ear?
I don't know. You think you know me?
Bitch.
Yeah.
Well, it's what every female wrestler says, so it makes sense, right?
I like Picasso.
Sorry?
I like it, Picasso.
Yeah, there you go.
So, after this, we had a Seth and Riddle recap from the start of the show for some.
Why? Why?
Led to Rollins moaning that he was done with Riddle, and if people aim for the face of Monday Night Raw, they can't miss. And before he said anything else, he had an almighty interruption in the form of Bobby Lashley, who said he wasn't the face of Raw. He didn't even have a championship. Lashley was the face of Raw. Rollins then continued to laugh in Bobby Lashley's face and say, if you're so much of a face, then put that title on the line against me next week in a championship match. And we'll see who the face is. And this was actually made official later on in the show. We're going to have Rollins versus Lashley next week. Can't imagine what's going to happen.
Well, I'm not mad at it. I think it'd be good to watch.
Yeah. Then we had a Miz interview. In his
boo, boo.
And Loomis was staring at him through the window, but when Miz looked, he wasn't there. And then Miz and Maurice left for a premiere, and Loomis was sat at Miz's desk inside his house drawing a picture.
Apparently, Loomis has been watching old Ultimate Warrior tapes. also reinforces the whole thing about Miz being wary of Loomis being behind him because of the bum stuff.
Yeah.
But Aaron would be quite happy to have Dexter Loomis come into his back entrance.
Nah.
You like Dexter?
Yeah, but I don't take. I don't like taking.
Dude, it was an innuendo. I'm not saying you actually do it.
You can keep his endo out of mine. So
Yay!
the picture that Dexter was actually drawing was a picture of Miz and Maurice and the Miz and Mrs. show that they do. So I don't know whether or not this is like a sneak peek that Dexter's going to make an appearance on Miz and Mrs. at some point in the future. It could be like a little bit of foreshadowing, but if it's not, then I don't know.
It could also be just promoting the show.
Possibly.
Also, why isn't he drawing the kid and Maurice's mother?
He did. The picture did have it on there, but it didn't seem important.
Well, guess what? It is important.
Blah blah blah.
Blah 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 blah.
So they're probably just trying to grab views for the show, to be honest.
Yes, that's why it's important. Because I mean, judging from Kaylee's reaction, nobody actually wants to watch the fucking Miz.
Yeah. So following this, we had a theory,
which is a shame because I'm going to take back Kaylee's Miz exposed calendar.
Oh.
12 naked pictures of the Miz for the whole year, Kaylee, just for you.
I mean, if he's got a nice dick, sure.
Well, he came to play, apparently.
I mean, he has 2 kids.
Maybe the gardener's well in debt. I don't know. But anyway.
Oh, old man Miz. Anyway.
Hey, George. Yay!
So, then we had a Theory and Kevin Owens recap.
Why?
Because it led to an announcement that they'd be having a match next week. So basically a rematch from the previous week. So instead of having the match 2 weeks in a row, they have a match, then a segment where it comes to blows, and then the rematch.
Because they're shit.
I don't think the match was memorable enough for them the week beforehand. So they needed to do it again.
Well, you know what used to happen if that was the case? Vince used to make wrestlers come out and redo the matches.
Oh, I thought they got Teddy Long to go and make him fight The Undertaker.
I'll put them in a tag team match. Fair and true. You forgot to say, player, you're going to go one-on-one with The Undertaker.
I'm hoping that when Teddy Long actually, if Teddy Long retires, Mark Calloway agrees to go out with him one night on one of the shows. Teddy Long comes out with his music and he goes, "You're gonna face The Undertaker," and The Undertaker's music actually plays, but he comes out in this granny. It's actually like Walker stroller. Or comes out to the American Badass music on a mobility scooter.
He should literally come out on that mobility scooter and say, "Teddy, I've been retired for 5 years. Stop putting me in matches."
Yeah. So after this, we had Edge versus Dominik Mysterio. A 15-minute main event. Who do you think won? Bonus points if you can tell me what you think happened.
I suspect Dom botched a fuckload of moves and looked really bad. I know who I want to have won this, but WWE booking scares me sometimes, so that's always kind of worrying. I'll go with who I want to win. That'd be Edge.
No.
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 Wasn't clean though, was it?
It was a DQ. Nobody won.
So you mean they both got disqualified?
It's listed as a no contest, even though
Well, that be funny.
was purely in Edge's favour.
But then it's a no contest.
It was an okay match. There wasn't any botches really until Ray interfered. Then Mysterio got dropped by Priest on the announcement desk. Right. Then the rest of Judgment Day took over and caused a DQ by beating the hell out of Edge. The stupid thing about this is after the Judgment Day stood tall, Balor was filmed getting in Edge's face and telling him who was in the Judgment Day as if he needed a fucking reminder.
Well, Edge is old, so maybe he's forgetting stuff. Well, they're saying that maybe Edge needs help from your charity of the month.
That's a low blow.
Well, if he's forgetting stuff, then maybe he needs the help of,
Oh, he probably needs a chair shot. I mean, a checkup. Sorry.
I can share toe. Sorry, what? Or maybe he just wants to go and visit Christian hospital.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
So he is, after all, recovering from surgery.
Ouch.
You may have, for anyone who's seen Christian, he's been wearing an arm brace. It's also why he didn't do much in that match at the pay-per-view. He's gone and had surgery, so he's not going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
Hopefully he recovers quickly, because when you're an older age like that, that stuff can be a bit more complicated.
Mm-hmm. So I gave Raw a 6.
Okay. For what reason?
It was okay, wrestling-wise. Storyline was good as well, but there was just no real surprise about anything.
Nothing really just got you.
No.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
I'd say a 7, possibly a 7.5, but at a push because of the match between Gable and Gargano.
Well, it's fair enough.
But no, it was kind of like an episode of NXT UK with no grip to it. It was good. Probably like one of the best Raws like in a little while, but it was.
Well, to use the Vinceism, nothing came up and grabbed you by the grapefruits.
Nah.
That's fair enough. Okay, that, of course, should bring us to NXT then, yes, unless there's anything else.
Nope, that was it.
Sweet.
And this was the 52nd episode of NXT 2.0, the 1-year anniversary show, where the WWE Universe decided the outcome of every single match. Every single match. Basically, it was the Cyber Sunday knockoff.
What day does NXT take place?
Wednesday.
Now, if they'd been smart, they would have done the day before, because it could have been Taboo Tuesday.
Wow.
Well, that's what they used to do in that too, because that and Cyber Sunday were fairly similar concepts.
Yeah. So, as we learnt on Raw, we'd have Creeds versus Pretty Deadly in a tag team title steel cage match.
Yeah, I see the fact WWE Universe really decided that.
Well, Pretty Deadly kind of gave themselves this because they asked the WWE Universe to choose the stipulation.
And the best they could come up with would be a cage match.
I replied to the WWE thing and I said double dog collar match, but apparently that's not good enough.
No, I'm with you. That would have been much more fun to watch.
Yeah.
I would have thought you would have preferred that Pretty Deadly trapped in a cage.
Or a strap match.
Oh, there you go. How about a Texas death match? Where to lose, you actually have to die.
So, who do you think won?
Or as a team, if you call Pretty Deadly, you're handicapped. Because we all know how much you really, really like Pretty Deadly. Who's the champs, by the way, at this point? I can't remember who it is.
Pretty Deadly. They won the Fatal 4-Way at Worldwide.
So I remember now.
So they're double champs, even though they don't carry the NXT titles anymore. UK titles anymore.
Well, technically they don't really exist, so I suppose that's why.
All the UK titles have just been history paged.
Future endeavored's the word.
No, I'd say history page because they're not coming back. They're going to have a European Championship.
I see. So they've gone off to join the European title. Gotcha. Pretty Deadly kept them because I don't see why they wouldn't.
Can you guess how?
Probably Roderick Strong does some fuck up that costs the Creeds the match.
No, Roderick Strong has still been hospitalized after he was jumped by Damon Kemp at Worlds Collide, who's turned against Diamond Mine.
When did that happen?
Worlds Collide.
Yeah, when was that?
Day after Clash at the Castle.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It was actually a really good show. Best NXT show I've seen.
Yeah, that involves that week I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking, because obviously I didn't know that happened.
Definitely worth a watch if you get the chance.
Well, I don't have to. You've just told me what happens.
So it's better than Clash at the Castle, wrestling wise. I know you appreciate the wrestling, so.
Well, that wouldn't be hard, would it?
No.
Not being funny, I could get. Me and this fucking fortune cookie could have a better match than that fucking Clash of the Castle fucking show.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you. Generally, NXT events tend to be better, at least wrestling wise. So, sure.
So, you said Roderick Strong. It wasn't Roderick Strong.
Well, no, but to be fair, I also didn't know he wasn't around. So,
but Pretty Deadly did retain.
Well, that much I was pretty certain of.
Well, this was a chaotic match with a surprising ending, to be honest. Damon Kemp showed up halfway through and handcuffed Julius Creed to the top of the cage.
Right.
So Julius and Brutus were trying to get the handcuffs off, but couldn't. So Brutus was on a 2-on-1 situation for the other half of the match. And 2 spilt milks later by Pretty Deadly, and he was down for the 3 count. So it was kind of clean, but controversial.
It's within the rules of the match.
Yeah.
So that's fair enough. They just took advantage of the situation, which in that match scenario, there's no rules broken. I don't have an issue with it.
I did like the fact that Brutus kicked out of one of the spilt milks, so it made him look good, even though he didn't win, because nobody's ever kicked out of that before, not even on NXT UK. So
yeah, I'm not big on people kicking out of finishes, though, generally.
No, but I mean, if you're going to give the Creeds a bit of credit, like in a match like this, even with a 2-on-1 situation, you've got to give them something because they were the previous champions.
No, I understand that, but possibly this is why I always like wrestlers having more than one finishing move, for example.
Yeah,
if you're going to have them kick out or something, have them kick out the lesser move, not the one you usually win matches with.
Yeah, see, this is one of the reasons why I'm not that fond of Pretty Deadly. They're not like in ring wise, they're not there yet, in my opinion. They haven't got the full they haven't got the full ticket. They haven't got like more than one finisher.
They don't have the repertoire.
Yeah, they don't have the repertoire for the big stages.
Yeah. I mean, we'll give you an example of a wrestler, right? We'll go with Seth, because Seth's an easy one, right? Seth Rollins has about 3 different finishers, right? So if you want somebody to kick out of one of those finishers, you go with the Falcon Arrow or the Pedigree to kick out of. Because people have kicked out of them.
Or the Revolution knee at a push.
Right, yeah. But not the Stomp. Because that's the move he tends to win matches and they are decisive. So don't jeopardise that move by having somebody kicking out of it. It's stupid.
Unless that person's got a magical mask that gives them immortality to a Stomp.
Unless you're fucking Brutus Beefcake from 1993, where you want a goddamn fucking metal piece of shit.
I was talking about the Fiend.
You was talking about what, sorry?
I was talking about the Fiend and the Hell in a Cell fuck up that they did. When he stomped Bray Wyatt 8 times and he still got straight back up.
Yeah, I mean, if you are going to do it, that's possibly the only real time that's probably acceptable when you've got a character like that. You're in a match. But that should not be a common occurrence by any shape or form. If it happens, it should be against only one wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like when Kane and Undertaker used to kick out of each other's moves. Don't have an issue with that, because they're brothers. So they know each other's moves. So it makes sense, at least.
Yeah.
But also, they did beat each other with those moves too, so...
We then found out that Wesley was going to face Carmelo for the North American title, which was decided by the people. I was kind of happy with this, but, I mean, it could have been better. We had no build-up for this, so I was a bit like, okay.
Ricochet. Sorry, what?
We then had an annual recap of NXT 2.0 featuring the best bits. For some reason, it felt like saying goodbye to the NXT brand. Like the NXT 2.0 brand. It felt like somebody was like saying, okay, this is the end of NXT 2.0. Let's have a montage of all the best bits over the previous year.
Yeah, somebody said it to me. Apparently, they would describe this as 1.5.
Yeah.
So to kind of explain that to anyone who's not aware of what that would probably mean, basically it's a reversion, but still keeping some parts of 2.0.
Yeah. So this led to Lash Legend versus Fallon Henley. For some reason, these two have had beef for a little while now, and they
were in that 6-person tag match, weren't they, as well?
Yeah, this match kind of needed to happen, to be honest. But there wasn't much of a build-up for it at all. In a singles kind of wise, they've always been stood by. Well, Legend was stood by Pretty Deadly, and Fallon has been with Briggs and Jensen since she debuted, I think.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that's probably why it's a good thing to have singles matches, because if all your accounts have been involved in parts factions with teams, eventually you do need to have a singles match.
So, who do you think won?
Out of those two, yeah.
Fallon Henley and Lash Legend.
Uh,
Do you think it
Henley.
was clean?
No, and I think it was Henley.
You're half right.
It wasn't clean, yeah.
No, it was clean.
So it was
And
Henley.
it was Henley.
Oh, okay.
She's added a new running boot, like kind of a sideward running boot to her arsenal, and she hit Legend with it flush on the jaw, and then pinned her for the 1-2-3.
I can't like the running boot as a finishing move. For those of you who hadn't seen him, didn't see him for a while there. Brody Lee did that move a lot when he was in AEW, but he did it like forwards version, not the version you're talking about. And it's a good move if somebody can do it properly, but you have to really be able to do it.
This is a sideways one though, kind of like she kind of 2 steps into it,
which I think is probably a bit more forgivable. So I think more people could probably do it. So I think that's good. Because if you're going to do it front ways, you need to be a big person to do it. Otherwise, it looks weird as fuck.
I mean, sideways it looks good as well, impact wise, on the replay.
Yeah. But what I mean is I think a smaller person can get away with doing the move sideways.
Yeah, I mean,
front ways it wouldn't look right.
Another person who uses this move is Axiom, or A-Kid, as we know him.
Well, there you go. If somebody's going to do a big
Nova roller kick.
Yeah. If you're going to do the sideways one, fine. But forward ones, you want somebody. I mean, he hasn't got coordination yet, but you need somebody like Omos's size or Strowman's size, those kind of guys, to do the forward version, not the side version.
I'll say this. This looked like a sideward Claymore.
Which is, yeah, probably, yeah, okay. For a smaller person, I think that probably works better.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, if you want to get some sort of lift or elevation, then as a smaller person, you probably do need to leave the ground.
Yeah. So, to be honest, in my eyes and quite a few other people's, this was actually an upset. Because Fallon hasn't been in singles matches a lot, and Lash Legends built up a kind of persona at this point.
Yeah. Don't know why, just something in my head told me it was going to be who I picked, and there you
go. Following this, though, we had a segment with Sangha, the one half of the old tag team that Veer Mahan used to be a part of. He was with Leon and Faraz, and we found out that Yulisa Leon has torn her muscle and will be out for 9 months. However, Robert Stone intervened and said that he didn't care about Leon and that Wagner should have won the opportunity to face Carmelo Hayes for the North American title. And this caused Sangha to get in Stone's face and tell him to shut up. There are ladies present. And Von Wagner didn't take too kindly to that, so these two might clash at some point.
I was going to say, he was calling Von Wagner a lady, then I'm assuming.
No, but I can see why you'd think that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So following that, we had a Fallon, Briggs and Jensen segment that included Toxic Attraction, where Jensen kind of crushed on Mandy Rose and fell on his words, saying that he liked Mandy Rose's Instagram post from 2 weeks ago, and he loved the look of her tit instead of title. He slipped on his words. And
yeah, that's an easy mistake to make, in all fairness.
Yeah, Toxic Attraction kind of went into Jensen a little, and Fallon Henley told Mandy Rose to shut up, so it built a little bit of fire between the two of them.
Yeah, there you
go. Fallon Fallon told Mandy Rose to shut up. Mandy Rose then made a comment and said, "Oh, look, you got yourself one win," and Fallon kind of lost it and went a little bit crazy. The weird thing was this happened backstage, and then the next minute, Toxic Attraction were going to the ring.
Yeah.
So we had the Toxic Attraction segment that led to a Toxic Attraction segment that was in the ring. And Mandy and the girls said that they're the best of all time in NXT, and then Mandy said to put respect on her name, and as she said that, Alba Fire came out with her baseball bat, took down Toxic Attraction, and said she doesn't talk because she likes her own voice, unlike Rose. She lets her hard work and work in the ring do the talking. She then dropped the rest of Toxic Attraction too. And that was the end of that segment.
Okay, cool.
Cora Jade then had a promo package, and she said she was all for the future. She then wrote off the whole locker room, focusing especially on Wendy Chu, saying she was a stuffed animal that shouldn't be wrestling.
Yeah, she should. And that Cora Jade is a lying filthy bitch.
Yeah, we then had a cool. We then had a Wendy Chu segment that followed this, but that was really funny.
Let's be very clear about this. I've got nothing against Cora Jade, but she's picking on my Wendy. So no, stop it.
Yeah. Wendy Chu said a few home truths about Jade, but was interrupted by Lash Legend. But Chu just got the last word in and left, which left Lash Legend really speechless. So Lash Legend started moaning about the fact that she just lost, and Chu was just like, and then walked away, and Lash Legend was standing there like. So this was great. I like this.
And people wonder why I like Wendy Chu. Well, duh.
Okay, so for the next bit, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to do this, but I would like you to go onto YouTube. I would like you to look up Quincy Elliott's NXT debut. Because I want to see your reaction to it.
Quincy Elliott, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. It came up as a pre-existing search term, so that's interesting. I'm assuming you mean the match, yeah?
Sure.
Against Sean Gallagher?
Yep. He arrived on a scooter, by the way, just saying.
Right, I've turned the sound off, so obviously that's not going to cause an issue, so just wait for this advert to go through.
You can guess who debut.
I think Stu Bennett had a really good thing just then. What the hell is that? Yeah, what are they saying? What I'm not saying? There you go. another classic from Stu.
Did you see the entrance in the video too?
Yeah, it shows them from the very beginning.
His entrance was just I don't have any words.
He's currently doing a Disco Inferno impression right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's looking to possibly. He's got his hands up here doing all sorts of weird stuff. Gallagher's just got hold of him here. He's got hold of his arm. He's trying to twist it. Now this guy's thrusting his hips side to side. Now it's rolled over.
His wrestling style was
just a kiss.
His wrestling style was cringy, to say the least.
I'll tell you what it reminds me of, right? His actual in-ring style.
Viscera?
Yeah, Big V. Although he seems to be trying to do Yokozuna right now. With a bit of gold dust thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yokozuna. And he's got his groin right in the guy's face, too.
I hope he was wearing a gum shield for his sake.
Well, I hope he was wearing a cup for these opponents' sake. He's now got the referee, who he's now holding in a really weird and sexually harassing.
DQ. DQ.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I liked it.
Sorry, what?
Now ask me if I liked it.
I don't have to ask you. I know what you're thinking on this. I can tell.
I don't know why I put myself through it.
It was only 3 minutes or so. Because I looked at the time on the video.
3 minutes that I've probably got seared into my brain.
Oh dear.
I think, to be fair, it was more a case of give it a chance and then see. But now you've done so. But now you've done it, you don't have to do it again. Now, my question would be, did Kaylee see it and did she like it?
What did I say?
I don't think I showed her because I thought I'd spare her.
What did you spare me?
Quincy Elliott's debut on Raw. Not Raw. Fuck. No. God, no. Not Raw. NXT. He seems like more of a SmackDown kind of guy.
Quincy Elliott's debut on NXT.
The guy came out basically doing a very sexually ambiguous gimmick.
Oh, it's him. I love him.
Aaron's face right
The
now.
one that is like stereotypical gay. Yeah, I love him.
From what I've heard, he's straight. I'm not
being funny. I would have guessed he was straight just by watching how he'd done that.
He acts it well.
There's a couple of things which meant me to give away that he's straight. Speaking as a straight guy. Bear in mind, you had Dustin Rhodes when the Gold Dust did similar tricks. Dustin's very, 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 very straight. But you wouldn't know it from what he was doing.
He's Cody. Hang on, no.
Yeah, he's Cody Rhodes' brother.
Or half brother, technically.
Oh, I guess I go. That's not paying.
So, I'm not sure. I am sure, but I don't judge. Kind of, not really. But this made me feel uncomfortable more than Pretty Deadly does.
Okay. I have a question for you. Is it the gimmick or the fact it's a straight man doing the gimmick?
Neither. I can't understand. I don't get why I feel uncomfortable. I just do.
Okay. I was just curious if it was one of those two things, but I actually think it's. I actually find that more reassuring as an answer than if you'd said one of them.
It doesn't make me feel great watching it be portrayed the way it's being portrayed. So I wasn't a fan of the way that Viscera used to wrestle.
Okay, but this is the thing. So your problem is execution. It's not the concept of it; it's how it's being done, which I think is a
not
much.
the concept, no, because I was a fan of Velveteen Dream before.
You know what? Yeah, but this is the point. I'm trying to make very clear to obviously because not everyone watching possibly understand this as well. It's not a case of you're not okay with what he's doing. It's more of how it's being done. Because there are wrestlers who have done similar gimmicks before. We mentioned Dustin Rhodes with Goldust. Viscera we've mentioned as well.
It's not exactly untreaded territory, is what we're trying to say. It's just how it's done and portrayed that's questionable.
But I do think a lot of that is also down to who is doing it, because execution matters.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Dustin Rhodes got away with it for so long, doing that particular act, because he knew how to execute it. There were times where it was a bit iffy for some people, but more often than not, the execution was fine with what he did. Could you do that now? No. But then, even then, it was still a bit risky because of the way the world was. But he persevered with it and he kept going with it. And apart from a couple of things, I'd say, where he probably went too far, I think he'd okay with it. But I would say the difference between that and something like Big Daddy V or Big Daddy V, example. Big Daddy V was more of a ladies' man kind of thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to Goldust, who was an everything kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit different. Which, in all honesty, I don't think that's what they're going for with this guy. I don't think they're going for an everything with him. I think they're trying to go for the
eggs in a basket. Not fertilized.
Wow. I think they're trying to go for like, how do I put this? It's probably going to sound really offensive, but it's probably the only way I can really explain. I think they're going for like the gay version of Viscera.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, sure, but not being funny. I'm not sure he's got the necessary skill set to do it, and I don't think that's his fault either.
He's not the right size.
It's not even so much that. I just don't think he has the necessary ability or possibly experience to do this, because I think if you're going to do something that's this demanding, either you need to naturally be that way or have necessary skills or experience to execute said thing.
I feel that like he's more close to what they're looking for on this than other people would have been. If you'd have had somebody like Jake Atlas do this, no.
Or Jonah.
But like he's close enough. But it's Velveteen Light.
Yeah.
We said it the other week. It is that.
I think honestly
they picked up a dusty gimmick and given it to the first person they thought fit the category.
And that's the problem with gimmicks like that. Dusty was a very naturally outgoing guy. This was a thing for him. If you're going to have a gimmick like this particular, because it's very outgoing, the person portraying it also needs to be naturally out there.
And we don't know enough about him yet to see whether or not he is naturally out there or not. because he's only been there for 2 weeks. We've had 2 teasers and now this match.
Judging from the match, I'd say no.
No.
But again,
Doesn't
it is
work.
only one match. It is only one match, to be fair, so you won't really get a good indication of that until there's been more of them. But generally, as I said before, these kind of gimmicks need to be done by either somebody very experienced in wrestling to know how to do them, or somebody who is naturally that way anyway. Because the closest thing is to what you really are, it's always easier to do it.
I'd be curious to see the moveset and how it, whether or not it improves or whether or not it's versatile enough. If he does Shattered Dreams as well, could be interesting.
I would say this for them. I didn't overly mind his moves. However, you need a different finisher.
Agreed.
Because that finisher is, one, he's not big enough to do that move. And two, it's an overly, when somebody's not big enough, then obviously things are much more in your face. It's also more overly sexual as well.
Yeah, I mean,
especially for a gimmick like that.
Yeah. Could be worse. Could have done a split pin.
True, but I'd actually have less of an issue with it. Because it's a size thing again. Honestly though, if you want to play upon something, right, have him do the road dog pump handle slam thing where he does the doggy shit. At least that would be in character, and it makes sense with the kind of size he is as well.
Yeah. So now that we've talked about that, we had a pre-match segment where we were supposed to find out who Cameron Grimes' partner was. Then we found out that Cameron Grimes had said he didn't want a partner, so the vote was cancelled, even though it was on social media for the majority of the week/day before.
Two things about that. One, having it on there at least, it's a kayfabe thing, so at least the kayfabe obviously it holds up. But the problem with doing that, you've literally now just told your viewing audience,
you don't get.
Hey, we'll let you pick, but ultimately, if we don't like what you decide, then we'll just change it.
Well, what made this worse before the pre-match segment happened, and then we got Wesley in the locker room getting ready for his match against Carmelo Hayes, who ended up just getting jumped by Trick and Mello and having his neck slammed in a locker door twice. So not only did the Cameron Grimes tag thing was just like, nah, they also made it so that way the people who decided that they wanted to see Wesley versus Carmelo, nah, we don't like your thing, so get Carmelo and Trick to take him out.
Yeah, Carmelo and Trick should be careful though, because you never know which bloodline member might turn up at some point.
Yeah, so next we had Tony D'Angelo and Stax versus Cameron Grimes and himself. Even though he's supposed to have a partner. So, what do you think happened here? Who do you think won? And what do you think possibly happened?
If Grimes won, then it's WWE stupid ass booking. So fuck it, WWE stupid ass booking. Grimes won because somebody got involved. There you go.
Bonus point if you can guess who.
Oh shit! You're fucking serious. Is that really what happened, honestly?
Yeah, bonus point if you can guess who. This actually went in the storyline that's happened the past few weeks as well. So come on, bonus point.
Oh fucking hell! I can't remember who's in the storyline now.
Well, the reason why he's in this match is because he said no to Tony D'Angelo when he offered him a seat at his table. And he's been in a conflict with another faction of sorts, or trio.
Oh, D'Angelo, yeah, it was Gargano, wasn't it? So was it Escobar?
No,
No,
way off base.
no, okay.
So, this is how the match went down. So Grimes was alone in a 2-on-1 situation, and Grimes was okay, but eventually the numbers caught up with him, and halfway through, Schism came out ringside. Joe Gacy and the Dyad. Joe Gacy caught up on the apron and came to tag with Grimes. So we had Joe Gacy and Cameron Grimes versus Tony D'Angelo and Stax. And Grimes was hesitant to make the tag throughout the whole match, but eventually gave in when it came down to it. Was tagged out of the match by Gacy. Gacy and Grimes were a chaotic partnership, but they actually worked well together, and Gacy managed to get the win on Tony D'Angelo. Guess what happened next?
Well, that was a fucking shit show. I can tell you that much as far as that goes.
Oh, no, it's not over. Guess what happened next?
Oh, fucking hell. They attacked Grimes. Fucking hell.
Gacy extended a hand of friendship to Grimes, and Grimes turned around and basically said no. And then Gacy said, well, that was your last chance. And then the Dyad jumped in from behind, and all three of them laid Grimes out.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. So then we had a Devlin segment that was okay. He had a target.
Don't you think that's very telling, though, right? I didn't even know it was them when that thing fucking started when you was telling me that, right? But the minute I knew it was them, it was like they fucking jumped in, didn't they? Jesus Christ.
Well, following this, we had a Devlin segment that was okay. He basically painted a target on Bates' back and Breaker as well, from the sound of things. After that, we had a Bron Breaker interview that was okay, talking about the past year and the highlights that he's been through. Then what followed that was a Tyler Bates segment where he asked for a rematch with Breaker and also called out Devlin too, which led to a number one contenders match being made for this week between Bate and Devlin.
Not angry at that.
No. So following that, we had Zoe Stark and Nikita Lyons versus Kiana James and Oriana Grace in a women's tag match.
Why?
I think, memory serves me correct, Kiana James had a problem with Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark for a couple of weeks, and last week she asked for Ariana Grace's help because apparently they were friends in the Performance Center, and that's how this match came about. There wasn't a lot in the backstory, but it did have a reason, even though it was kind of minuscule.
Okay, a reason's better than none, so okay, sure.
Who do you think won?
Lions and Stark, probably.
This was an okay match, but something during this match was kind of funny and kind of took away from the win for Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark.
Did somebody screw up?
No, the cameraman was just kind of half-heartedly doing his job and zoomed in on the crowd. And in the crowd, one of the fans was holding a replica All Atlantic AEW Championship belt on their shoulder. I'm not sure how many people noticed this, but if you go back and watch it, this actually happened.
To be fair, there are lots of wrestling belts out there, and a lot of them all look very similar to each other. So initially, you probably may not recognize it. Also, it's probably the least known of the AEW belts.
I paused, rewound, and compared next to each other. It was definitely All Atlantic.
But that's it. But that's it right there. You had to double check.
I saw it and I automatically recognized it because I'm a big fan of Pac. And I loved him during NXT. So as soon as I saw it, I was like...
But how many other people would notice that is my point.
Real wrestling fans would. Oh, I probably
No, you shouldn't have. And you should have said Pac fans would have noticed that.
Okay, Pac fans would have noticed that.
Because the internet would be less mad at you for that. You can't say real wrestling fans, because then the wrestling Twitter sphere would be mad at you, and that's much worse. So you think gaming Twitter's bad? Wrestling Twitter's much worse.
Gaming Twitter's not bad, really.
Oh, it is.
There's a certain part of the content created that is questionable, but that's based around a lot of... Well, I probably shouldn't say it on air, so I'm not going to.
Then don't. If it's something you're not sure about, then don't, because...
If you want to ask me about it later, then I'll go into it, but I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah, not on air, no.
Nah.
What the fuck?
So...
Kelly's just discovered the secret of Quincy Elliott. He uses socks.
So
Aaron's having to think about that now, aren't you?
we then had a Malachi Black and Idris Sanofe segment, and they were talking to a red hooded person about Joe Gacy. And now this person in this red hoodie has been hovering around the dyad and schism for the past couple of weeks, and keeps constantly talking to like members of the schism. But this was the first time we'd seen him talk to somebody else about Joe Gacy. So I'm not sure who this person is or whether or not they're going to be like a debuting superstar in the future. But he's been in the background more than once now. So you've got to keep an eye out for a new member of Schism.
Are you sure she's not Red Riding Hood trying to avoid the bad wolf? But it does seem likely from what you're saying. It probably has something to do with a new member.
What kind of enforced this afterwards is because Idris and Malik were saying, "Oh no, Joe Gacy would never be in the Star of the Year category for NXT UK." The dyad came over and started on Malik and Blade as well, and they jumped Blade and Anofi. We just have to wait and see who this red hooded person is. We then had a reveal of NXT UK star Oliver Carter making his stateside debut as Oro Menza next week. Which was semi-surprising after all the releases, but I mean, at the same time, it is what it is.
You have to bear in mind, though, most of those releases were done by...
Yeah. I'm unsure on the name, but I like Carter, so can't really complain about him.
Well, some names you just get used to as a change goes, and then there's some, like
Yeah.
which I'm never going to adopt the actual name they now use. Walter.
So next we had the biggest NXT Star of the Year segment. That was literally a backstage segment with a ring announcer saying who the NXT Stars of the Year were.
Ciampa. Next.
And the top 4 was announced, but before that happened, Grayson Waller interrupted and said that he was the Star of the Year. And when the announcer told us who the Stars of the Year were, he wasn't very
one of them,
happy.
was he?
Well, no. Can you guess the 4 though? I'll give you 4 points if you can.
Yeah, I knew he was going to fucking do that one. Right. Are they? I will ask you this as a quantifying question because I think it's only fair. Are they people that are still in NXT?
Yes.
No.
Right. Mello.
You got 1 point.
So,
But just a warning, if you get one wrong, WWE Booking gets a point.
fuck WWE booking. They put the fucking Dyer to fucking attack Grimes off the match. They can fuck off. So,
I'll give you a clue about one of them. One of them isn't a person, it's a faction.
oh, for fuck's sake. Never mind. Is Breaker one of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got 2 points.
I've just said he makes the most sense, to be honest.
I don't think you're going to get one of these.
Right. You said one of them's a faction.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't know. It's Dynamite. It's not. Fucking hell. Trying to think what fucking faction it would be because to be honest, they're all fucking shit.
Well, I'll give you another hint. They're a trio.
That's not really a hint. They're still all fucking shit.
Leon.
Sorry.
I know. I'm saying hello to one of the viewers.
Oh. By the way, if you hear me swearing, it's not to you guys. It's just me responding to Aaron saying stuff to me generally. So there has to be a female one in there, surely. So I suppose that has to be Mandy.
No.
No, that's surprising. Is there a female one in there though?
These 2 are female. So you're kind of half right with Mandy.
It says Toxic Attraction.
Yes.
Okay, that at least makes sense. I still think it's a shit faction, but it makes sense at least. Because
the last one was also female.
Well, I know who it should be, and if it ain't this one, I'm gonna be fucking stroppy. Wendy Chu.
No.
Fuck off then.
Do you want me to tell you who it was?
No, I don't fucking care. It ain't Wendy Chu.
I was kind of surprised by this one, considered she was out for a bit. Nikita Lyons.
Why?
I don't know. Apparently, the public voted for Nikita Lyons.
Toxic Attraction.
Anyway.
Toxic Attraction, I at least understand. Even if I don't agree with it, I understand it. Nikita Lyons is fucking weird. But Mello and Breaker makes sense. Absolutely, they do.
So, who do you think won NXT Superstar of the Year
Oh, fucking hell.
out of those four.
Out of those four.
No problem.
If you just go on purely as to them as an act, then probably Mello.
No,
That's
Braun Breaker
fucking
won.
retarded then. I'm not angry at that, though.
That's a point for creative. Anyway,
Creative can fuck off, but I'm still not angry at that, because I don't have an issue with it being Breaker either, so. But WWE
Yeah.
Creative can fuck off and die.
but during this segment, Waller lost his rag and said that the only thing that Breaker's good at is dodging him like he has the whole year. So we might have a bit of a fight between Breaker and Waller, which I wouldn't be mad about, but at the same time, I don't think Waller's ready for that.
Waller also has to earn a title shot, so he can fuck off.
Yeah. So
And I agree
next
with you, he ain't ready.
we had Big Body Hovey, or as he's now called, Big Body Javi, versus Hank Walker, the security guard. Yeah. The reason for the name change is WWE like to earn money from the named product. So instead of Big Body Hovey now is now Big Body Jovy, which sounds really bad.
Yeah, I turned off my camera and also I turned off my sound because, yes.
Yeah.
I just vented, so, and I didn't want anyone listening or watching to hear it because you wouldn't want to have heard what just happened then.
So, what do you think happened here? Who do you think won?
The fucking security guard, because they're fucking stupid.
Yes, he actually won this.
Yeah.
The thing I liked about this was Hank, the security guard, had no music or entrance like video. He actually came out like in normal clothes as well, like an actual security guard.
Yeah,
So it was good. It made sense too. And
Big
he
fan
was
of sense.
just security, but he hit Jovy with a rebound clothesline later and got the pin.
Right.
But commentary did a kind of solid for him as well. They said that he's actually a trainee at the Performance Center, but he's barely made a dent in the training. They said so. It kind of underwhelmed him during the match, but
yeah. Here's my issue with that. Way to make your established talent look like a piece of shit being beaten by somebody who hasn't really trained.
yeah. So I'm just gonna pop to the bathroom real quick. So I'm on antibiotics and then yeah.
Yeah, do what you need to do. No worries. Right. Yeah.
How much left have you actually got to cover?
There's still SmackDown to do and whatever's left of NXT.
Well, SmackDown was shit. It wasn't worth watching.
Well, I haven't seen any of it this week. That's the thing. So I haven't had to do it. So I've been travelling. So
Yeah, you was in Birmingham and that, weren't you?
Birmingham. I've been in Sheffield, Birmingham, and I'm going to be in Kent over the next couple of days.
Jesus.
So yeah.
Are you in the posh part of Kent or the chavvy part of Kent?
I'm going to be all over Kent. So.
Oh, good luck with that one.
So that'll be the thing about that. Weird enough, nowhere near the Medway towns though, which is good for me.
Oh no, that's the good part of that, I suppose.
Oh, it is, because other than Rochester, which I actually kind of like Rochester, because I've got a friend who lives there. The rest of the railway towns are kind of shared.
Yeah.
So, I prefer.
You prefer Sittingbourne and Sheerness, don't you, Peter?
I've never been to Sheerness. I've been to Sittingbourne.
You should actually come to Sheerness. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
You've seen Thanet, that's enough. Don't worry.
I lived in Thanet. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly.
I lived there when I was younger. So I've been in most parts of Kent at this point. There's literally the only place I haven't been to is where you live.
You're not missing much.
Well, no, because he's fucking there. So. Well, he's there, so and I've already met him. So
You've not met the best person, obviously. Ow, ow, ow.
Hang on, I thought he wasn't allowed any more pets.
What?
I saw a social media thing the other day about Aaron wanting more pets and you saying no. So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not yet.
Apparently, he didn't want to wake up to having a surprising noodle.
Depends what kind.
Wow. Depends what you like, I guess. My sarcasm and joke reflexes are on high alert right now because I've managed to get a lot of those out over the last couple of days. Did I up in Sheffield? Did I in Birmingham? So really on top form of those at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's what happens when you're around certain people. It just makes it easier to say stuff and do things.
Oh, 100%.
So it does.
Before we continue, where was my happy birthday, Peter?
Was it your birthday?
Thursday was my birthday.
I didn't know it was your birthday. You never told me.
That's not good enough.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't use my godlike powers to mentally read your mind, despite the fact that's a massive invasion of privacy.
Trust me, you wouldn't find out a lot.
I like pillow sex. I like pillow sex. Oh, Kaylee, stop that. Stop projecting.
I can't help it. It's the best kind. I don't have to do no work.
No comment. Anyway,
I have a response to that, but I can't say it on air. So.
Damn it!
Mainly because it's very inappropriate. So yes, very little work.
We then had a promo package for somebody called Soul Rucker, a young female talent coming to the main roster very soon.
Or to Vince McMahon's casting couch. Very right. Was that a snigger I heard from you, Kaylee?
No,
It wasn't my birthday peon. It was my partner's on Thursday.
Wow.
I've been very busy. It's hard to keep track of days.
I know roughly when Aaron's is, but I'm really bad at remembering dates anyway, so I have a calendar for.
Yeah.
I know when Aaron's birthday is. Exactly 6 months, 2 days after mine.
Which is what date exactly, and what year was he born?
March
What hospital was he born in? What was the nurse who got him out of his mum? What was his dad doing at the time?
He was born in Chatham Hospital.
My dad was down the pub.
No, it must be Kelly, because Kelly's supposed to know this stuff.
He was born in Chatham Hospital.
Yeah, and the rest of it. How much did he weigh?
Not nearly as much as what he does now.
Cop out. I know exactly my birth weight as it happens.
I don't.
I do.
Well, no,
I don't know my birth weight.
well, neither one of you should know my birth weight. I've never told you. So, but I know my own.
I can tell you I was born at 8'17" exactly.
I've
don't remember that one.
actually, some of my personal possessions, I've actually got my the little tag they put on you when you're a baby. It has all my details of when I was born and everything on it.
Is that right next to the lost and found tag?
No, that was the abortion bin.
Paperwork.
Apparently, it was this Garfield thing trying to climb out of it, and they kept trying to kick it back in.
Wow.
Oh God, that took a dark turn.
He kept screaming for lasagna for some reason. Anyway,
Mamma mia.
and that's the clean version of that joke.
Oh, I want to go back to Brighton.
Of course you do. You like to be surrounded by queers. Sorry, Bob.
Steve.
So next we had Mello versus we didn't know yet. With 16 minutes left.
Mello versus we didn't know yet. I've never heard of that one. Is he good?
It's about as good as you can guess. But
oh, have I got to guess who it is? Have I?
Well, if you send anything to do with SmackDown, then you know who it is.
I would guess this anyway, simply because I think it's the only person it probably could have been. It's Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any other wrestling this week, but that's who I would have guessed it was anyway.
And
because we both know, and I've told you this before, that Sikoa should be the one who beats him for the belt. So Sikoa answers this, right? So this is a title match, right?
This wasn't an open challenge or anything on Mello's behalf. Mello and Trick got in the ring, started talking. Mello said he didn't care about Wesley. He didn't need to go against Wesley. He was staying champ. And then he said his line, that's all it is, and that's all it's going to be. And then Solo Sikoa's music hit. You got in the ring, looked Mello dead in the eyes and said, I told you, I had next. Super kicked Trick Williams and threw him out the ring. And then went for Mello. And then as that was all going on, a ref came out and this turned into a championship match.
And I thought I couldn't like Solo Sikoa any more than I already did. And I like him even more now. Kicking that stupid little shit in the face.
So who do you think won this?
Oh, well, unless they've really fucked up, then it should be my boy Solo.
Yep.
Yay!
Like, this is what I wanted the whole time.
Kaylee, you need to have words. Apparently didn't want you. Wanted Solo Sikoa.
No, this is what I wanted to happen the whole time on, like, for the match. I was with you on this. Sikoa needed to be in this match.
It's fine, I'll get what I want later, Peter.
Sorry, what was that, Kaylee?
Didn't say nothing.
You did say something. I just couldn't quite make out what it was.
I said,
Yeah, go on.
I'll get what I want later.
Okay, but you do know, if he doesn't consent, it's right.
And I'm skint. I can't afford McDonald's.
well, if you get 2 backs and put the penis in it, then it's the Big Mac. And if you don't wash it, it's Big Mac with cheese.
Cream cheese.
And if you manage to do blowback when you ejaculate, it's a Big Mac with mayonnaise.
You okay?
There's nothing quite like a McDonald's.
It's a Halloween burger in itself.
You bastards.
Just don't ask about how you get homemade nuggets.
That sounds like a proper balls up.
You bastards. Both of you are bastards.
I know. I know I am. I have a certificate that says it. So.
Probably a mug somewhere too.
Oh, I need to get one of those. Actually, now you remind me.
Check AEW.com. Puck's got a mug out.
That's actually a good one. A good way of doing it. Yeah. When I say that, I do have my All Atlantic Championship belt here. I'm going to show them in front of this camera for no reason whatsoever.
So this match was actually really good. Chaotic. Sikoa was constantly taking out Trick Williams as well, so we loved that.
Yep.
It was a good tactic. He used his surroundings to his advantage, throwing Mello around ringside a lot too, showing why he was a street champion. Sikoa lost the advantage for a bit due to a distraction by Trick. But by the time picture break was over, Sikoa was back on top.
Yes.
Williams took out Sikoa's knee, and Mello went like into the grappling kind of side of things that we don't really see much from him, which was good.
I would say in a match against something like Sikoa, you kind of need to do that if you're Williams.
Yeah, but Sikoa came back from it. Williams tried to interfere but got dropped. Then Solo hit a spinning Uranagi, which I believe it's got named by Michael Cole on SmackDown earlier on Friday. I can't remember what they called it. And then he hit Mello with a huge splash, which they've called Flying Solo.
If Michael Cole named it, it was probably fucking shit. And Flying Solo at least makes sense for a name for a splash. Sure.
And he got the pin for the 1, 2, 3, and we have a new North American title, North American Championship champion. But after all this happened, the interesting thing happened. We learned that 2.0 was done, and it was the return of the black and gold brand. So no more rainbow vomit everywhere.
You mean no more? Bleh?
Yeah.
We'll leave that to Kaylee and her homemade Big Macs.
Mm-hmm.
Or a quarter pounder with cheese.
Cream cheese.
Do you want fries with that?
Yes. Extra salt, please.
Just don't ask about how you get a milkshake.
Oh no, I'll get them on a daily. That's all fine. I know how to do that.
No, I meant from Aaron, but anyway.
Oh yeah,
be better than the iced coffee that you left on your window.
That wasn't iced coffee. That was hot chocolate.
That was hot chocolate.
I forgot it was up there. Isn't
well, like hot chocolate.
Be great if it was chocolate.
Why do I fancy a hot chocolate now? And she left her hot chocolate up on the windowsill, and it was there for about 4 days. And I was waiting to see how long it would take her until I was just like, yeah, I should probably. I was emptying out the bin. I was like, yeah, I should probably pick this up. And I picked it up, and it was heavier, like 4 times heavier than it was when it has a drink in it. And I went to take it to the bathroom and pour it out, and it wouldn't come out the cup.
I forgot about it.
What was that in English?
She forgot about it. She did a Tony D. Forget about it.
Is that a euphemism for something that you guys do, or
no?
No, that's probably a good thing because that would involve a crowbar.
Can I suck on your vape again?
Yeah.
Actually, that's a point. It was your birthday, right? This past week, right, Kaylee? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So did Aaron give you a special present?
Yeah.
What did he give you?
Her wedding dress.
My wedding dress. But-
Okay.
Wait.
I paid for something that I'm not even been able to see.
Well, you're gonna see it eventually, duh.
Yeah, but I'm autistic.
He felt guilty because they didn't actually have a present to give me on my birthday. So I got this.
What a pussy.
It's a husky.
It looks like a pussy.
It's kind of like a wolf plush.
It's a husky. That still looks like a fucking pussy.
It looks like a pussy.
No, it's a husky. It's named Simba.
Your fiance gave you a pussy on your birthday.
So
Wow.
I gave NXT a 7 out of 10.
Oh, I only gave him a 1.
I was going to say give the pussy 7 out of 10.
Oh yeah, definitely an 8 out of 10. I would definitely recommend.
Why am I
Don't
missing
tell me.
the word?
Don't tell me that fluffy thing's got a fleshlight in it.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about that. I didn't realise you took that personally.
What would you score?
Hmm?
What would you score?
8.
No. Now I'm talking literally.
I'm not
She
doing
means
that on
hers.
YouTube.
He's not going to say that in front of everyone because he doesn't want to go all red and bashful.
Think of it back later.
Anyway,
Also, he's grading on the curve. Also, he doesn't want to say that to me either.
that was NXT for everyone who's still interested in the wrestling on this wrestling podcast.
Come on, SmackDown, and we can get to the actual good stuff.
Excuse me.
We're talking about AEW.
We're talking about the after show.
Oh,
You're saying good stuff. I was like, I'm not involved in any of that. Oh, right. Okay.
Because I got work in less than 10 hours, so we need to get on to the good stuff.
just the cameraman, yeah.
I've got work right now, so if we all want to show off about shit.
Yeah.
Pillow princess.
That's
So
NXT. And that leads us to SmackDown. So, who do you think kicked off the show?
Me.
the fucking bloodline.
No.
Wow, really?
In part, yes, but no, they didn't open the show.
Sakawa,
No.
No,
Heyman,
you're bad at this.
Heyman,
No.
Sami Zayn.
No.
Would you like a fucking punch now?
Can we do it for you?
Logan Paul.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm with Katie on this one. Fuck it. Oh.
We found out why, as he called out the champ Roman Reigns on his podcast this past week after Reigns had sat and had an interview with him. And then after he left, he turned around and said, I'd kick his ass in the ring, basically. So he turned around and said he wanted to fight Roman and organised a press conference on Saturday and challenged him to show up at Las Vegas for the press conference if he had any balls. Then Paul Heyman and the Bloodline came out, minus Roman Reigns.
So I was right, so don't be a tool.
No, because they didn't kick off the show. Logan Paul did.
Technicality.
Is that the title of your sex tape? Bloodline Interrupted, that's the title of Aaron's sex tape. Right.
Might be tomorrow. Anyway.
It's that time of the month, my dear. Right.
That took a minute. So, yeah, the whole bloodline came out minus Reigns, so it was the return of Paul Heyman.
Yeah, Aaron's not into blood sports. He doesn't hunt, right?
So Heyman actually complimented Logan Paul and said he'd be a Paul Heyman guy outside of WWE any day of the week. If you can take that as a compliment. And then Heyman then insulted both Logan Paul and his brother. Then Paul Heyman said, "Be sensible and pick a fight with someone else," which probably is the best advice, really, on Roman's track record at the moment. Then Logan Paul said, "Is the whole bloodline scared?" And he said all he needed was one lucky shot, and it was the end of Reigns' title run. And Heyman said, "Well, I've had enough now. So what if your brother didn't have balls, he'd be a girl, and like he'd be your sister." And Paul didn't really appreciate that. And Logan Paul found this funny. Heyman said, "Now I have to handle this. Now I have to deal with you," I think was the phrase that he used. And he called on Solo Sikoa. And as Sikoa got up on the apron, Logan Paul said he had a bet for Heyman. He bet he could knock out Heyman before Solo even got in the ring. To which Heyman backed off quite quickly, as you can imagine. And then, for some reason, Sami Zayn got in the ring.
Because Sami Zayn's the token punch bag.
He said Roman should have sent him to deal with Logan. And then Logan turned around and punched him in the face and dropped him.
Told you.
Instead, though, this led to a match between Sami Zayn and Ricochet. I don't know. What made this even more confusing was for the whole match, Logan Paul stayed ringside and so did the Bloodline.
I understand the bloodline being out there.
Hmm.
Logan Paul being out there was just kind of weird.
Yeah. So, who do you think won?
Sikoa.
Sami Zayn versus Ricochet.
Oh, fucking hell.
I hope they do.
Ricochet.
Yeah. Guess who cost Sami Zayn the match?
It'll be one of the bloodline.
Partially.
Sikoa probably.
No.
Oh, Heyman then.
No.
Oh, his mum.
Jey
Is it Kaylee?
Jey Uso cost Sami Zayn the match not once but twice.
So it was Kaylee. I was right.
And then on the final decision, Logan Paul cost him it.
Well, I kind of figured that. Otherwise, why is he out there? I think he'd be involved at some point, but I think it might have been after the match rather than as a result of it. But it makes sense.
Pro Wrestling Guerrilla was actually mentioned during the commentary in this match as well, talking about Sami Zayn and Ricochet's first ever match against one another, which I thought was a nice touch, showing on a bit of wrestling history in the commentary for a change.
It's always a good idea to mention such things. I mean, there are certain promotions I won't mention, but I think one that actually shouldn't hurt anybody.
Yeah. So after the match, Logan Paul was congratulating Ricochet in the ring, and of course the Bloodline tried to get one up, but then for some reason Madcap Moss came out with a steel chair to even up the odds. To be honest, this seems like a little bit of a team building kind of storyline. Maybe they're waiting towards Survivor Series because it's after Extreme Rules. You got Extreme Rules this month and then Survivor Series next month. Maybe it's going to be Bloodline versus a handful of superstars.
That's a very catchy name, a handful of superstars. You might as well just call it the Bloodline versus Kaylee.
You want to call it the anti-line?
The
Anti-line?
The anti-line. The auntie line.
Hmm?
Or is it
Or the
Kaylee
blood
versus
bag?
Roman Reigns? The blood bag. It's Kaylee in a match with Roman Reigns. First fall to a finish.
That wouldn't be television worthy.
It would, just not WWE television.
No. That'd have to be a internet thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm on about.
You wouldn't even be able to put that on after Watershed.
Oh, I could. It's called a paywall. Hey, we make some money off this.
So, after
I
that
didn't hear a
happened,
no there, by the way.
Huh?
I didn't hear a no to that, by the way.
I just let it go over my head at this point.
Well, no, I meant from Kaylee, but I know you're not going to pay any attention because you know what I'm fucking like.
So, following this massive starter segment that kind of lasted half hour, nearly 40 minutes, we had a carrying cross segment, and he was not done with McIntyre apparently, and was going to make him suffer for eternity. I don't mind these segments. It's just there's only so much of it I can take before I just switch off.
That I understand.
This was followed by a Maximum Male Models segment where they showed us a back to school range where Mace and Mansoor were wearing schoolchild clothing. And as they strike the pose, Braun Strowman came out and laid them both out. And then when Strowman got into the ring, the Alpha Academy's music hit. Gable came out to the ring and Otis jumped Strowman from behind and they laid Strowman out just for Strowman to sit back up and pop back up to his feet and say that he wanted Otis and he wanted him right now.
Excuse me?
But it didn't happen. Instead, it's been made for next week.
He wanted him right then and right now. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds a bit naughty.
Then we had a tag team title, women's tag team title recap segment where Damage Control won the titles on Raw. And we found out that Bayley would be competing in a singles match against Raquel because Aaliyah had been injured by the members of Damage Control on Monday Night Raw and would be out indefinitely.
Yeah, back to learn to wrestle and training.
They were Damage Control was bragging about the fact that they put Aaliyah on the shelf, and of course Gonzalez interrupted and she wasn't happy. She said she was out for revenge. Then we had Bayley versus Gonzalez. Guess who won this?
Bayley.
Yep. And of course it wasn't clean.
Nope.
And Damage Control got involved.
Yep.
Gonzalez even used Kai as a weapon during this match, but didn't get disqualified.
Uh-huh. That's booking.
So Bayley got the win, and the three of them started attacking Gonzalez. which brought out Shotzi for some reason. She came to Gonzalez's rescue.
Okay.
There's no history between the two of these two at all, really.
Is there a history between her and the other members of the other three?
And nothing was spoken about, really. They said, oh, it's because the locker rooms had enough of damage control, and it's like...
Then why is it just one person?
Damage control have been on Raw this whole time, really. They haven't really done much on SmackDown to piss off the locker room, so if they had, it would make sense, but they haven't, so this makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense, because even if you have pissed off the locker room, why is it only one person?
Also, to top it off, Aaliyah and Shotzi had that whole rivalry where Shotzi was locking her in the locker room one week and Aaliyah was locking her in the locker room the following week. But she's come out to help Aaliyah's tag team partner.
Yeah. Because Aaliyah's not around because Shotzi's locked her in the medical room. Don't be surprised if they come up with that shit.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not being funny, it was just Shotzi, and it was Bailey, Io, and Dakota. Shotzi didn't even bring a steel chair or anything, it was an equalizer, so this still could have been 3-on-2.
Sounds like my favourite type of sex tape. Sorry, what?
We then learned after this that the North American title was going to be defended on the show in the main event. Well, I thought it was going to be main event, but it turned out not to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it was between Solo Sikoa and Madcap. For some reason.
Could that be because Madcap came out earlier?
Possibly,
and that's, and that's why they made that. Sorry?
There wasn't even a fight, though. He came out with a steel chair and then the bloodline didn't do anything.
Well, maybe come out with a steel chair in front of Solo Sikoa, activate Solo Sikoa's need to be a man, and he decided, oh, I will have a match.
Yeah, but... I mean, I don't have a complaint about this. It was nice to see an NXT title defended on the main roster. Don't have a problem with it, but
It's a bit weird, though.
Yeah. Then we had a Ronda Rousey interview that ended up being a sit-down chat between Ronda and Liv Morgan, where Liv challenged Ronda Rousey to a Extreme Rules match the next pay-per-view. Thank you for the emotes, T and Peon. So yeah, that was just confusing. I thought if we was going to have a match stipulation challenge, it would be Ronda making the challenge, not Liv, who's the champion.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you're aware of what my issue is going to be with this.
Yeah, same issue as mine.
Yeah. The ex-MMA fighter and the limited experienced wrestler. And it's limited experienced wrestler who challenges the experienced MMA fighter to that kind of a match.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even necessarily have the skill set to do something like that, right? Not being funny, right? If you're going to do a match like that, and you're going to turn around and say, right, I'm going to have this kind of match with you, you need to be someone like Ruby Riott or Raquel, you know,
Mm-hmm.
someone who looks like they can have that kind of a fight.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan, as much as I like Liv Morgan, I do, I would not be confident with her winning a street fight.
Yeah. So, following this as well, we had McIntyre cut a promo and stood on top of the commentary desk, saying that Karrion Kross had no balls and the only countdown he had to worry about was the 3, 2, 1 he was going to get before McIntyre kicked his head off. This felt like a build to Extreme Rules, but it wasn't mentioned because obviously these two are going to clash and it would probably be at Extreme Rules, if anything.
Yeah, it's not always. Sometimes it's worth laying groundwork without their direct reference in it, but if they come back to this and use this, then it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Speaking of waste of time, Katie waving a hand in front of the screen.
That was rude.
Well, you waved your hand and didn't do anything. It's like, well, what was that before then?
What was you expecting me to do exactly?
I think it was like an I'm still here.
Oh, then she could have just spoken and said, I'm still here. And she could have gone, here's Kaylee.
No, that's no fun. I like being inconspicuous, a bit more inconspicuous anyway.
Might confuse some people as well, because I might have looked like Mr. Tickle or some shit going like that. But with my other hand, so that way you couldn't see it.
Well, the fact we can't see both your hands a lot of the time, Aaron, always makes us wonder what you're doing with the other one. But anyway.
Wrapped around my hair.
Flicking through my notes.
Oh yeah, flicking through something.
Beans.
I'm all out of beans.
I've got one.
Actually, no, tell a lie.
That's rude.
Shouldn't be showing you beans on the stream, mate, because your Twitch might get taken down for showing beans.
You've not seen these before.
Bean bomb boo boozled. Really? So that's so is that what happens to you, is it, Kaylee?
It is, yeah, I get bean boozled.
Yeah, bean boozled.
Yeah.
Yeah, the extremely hot ones. So at the moment, like on stream, every time I get gifted a sub or somebody subscribes, I have to eat one.
One of those, right? Just to be clear.
Yeah, somebody came in the other day, dropped 5 gifted subs, so I had to have 5 at once. Very
it's good
hot.
job we got those, because if you had to do the other one, Kelly would be very sore.
And beanless. Anyway.
Oh, you can find it.
Out of curiosity, Kaylee, have you ever had to walk like John Wayne?
Yeah.
So, following the McIntyre thing,
Yes.
McIntyre?
yeah,
None will be happy.
we had a Bloodline pre-match segment, which was okay. Sikoa was behind the curtain, and he chose Sami Zayn over the Usos to come out with him ringside for his match.
So he chose the stranger as opposed to his brothers. Okay.
Yeah, because Jay said that the Usos said, "Oh yeah, come on, bro, let's go," and he stopped Jay and he said, "You was off tonight, bro, because he cost Sammy his match." So he said, "You can stay here."
Oh, to be fair, I'd pick Sammy too, but that's not really the point. I mean, they're his brothers, so you know.
Yeah.
And
So
it's the bloodline, not the fact he's ginger and happens to look like blood colour in his hair.
Yeah. So Sikoa versus Malachi Black for the North American title was next, and we had Solo come out to the ring with brand new ring music, and then Madcap came out. But as Madcap was coming out, the commentary did a fucking stupid thing. They turned around and said, "Oh, this is Madcap's first ever singles title match opportunity." And I was like, okay, well, he's not winning this. We knew he wasn't winning anyway, but they just like final nail in the coffin. As soon as the commentary team tells you that.
You mean they did this? Hello, hello.
Hmm.
It's like what you do to Kaylee when she's fast asleep. Hello, hello.
Yeah. Side note: I prefer Solo Sikoa's old entrance music.
I've not heard the new one, so I wouldn't know.
It's not great. Doesn't really suit him.
What about Aaron's entrance music, Kaylee? Do you like his entrance?
What entrance music is it?
No, actually, if you like his entrance.
Oh, yeah, I love his entrance.
I like how she listens to exactly what I say.
Anyway, this match was good, as you can imagine. These two were two intense superstars going at it for a title that we both knew wasn't changing hands on this brand.
Okay, I'll say it because it's the most obvious childish joke I can think of. Why were they fighting in a tent?
Don't know, why was they fighting in a tent?
I don't know. He said they're two intense superstars.
Oh.
Told you it's a childish joke.
But
Aaron,
yeah, who do you think won this?
Does your hand get tired of doing this when Kaylee's around?
Doing what? That's just plain rude.
No, what's plain rude would be. I'm not actually. No, I'm not completing that statement right now. You actually seriously want me to pick who won this match?
Yeah, go on then.
For fuck's sake! Well, I don't even know why I asked. It's clearly Sikoa.
Yeah. Oh, and the new finisher that Sikoa's Michael Cole named for Sikoa's was spinning solo. So he's got flying solo off the top rope and a spinning rock bottom / uranagi as his finisher.
Yeah, that's fucking shite name for that then. The flying solo, I actually at least understand it. I kind of don't mind, but that's lame. That's what I expect from Michael Cole, of course. So, when you and Kaylee are wrestling, what do you call your finishing move there?
Can I just say about the Sikoa thing first?
I've
got a little bit more to say about it. I think like if they're still referencing the street champion thing, even on the main roster, why not call it the street slam?
Why not? It's not the worst thing I've heard.
Or
Bear in mind,
street breaker.
Well, once upon a time, another name for the spine buster was the sidewalk slam. You could just call it that.
I thought the sidewalk slam was the draped, the pendulum slam sort of thing.
No, believe it or not, it used to be another name for the spine buster.
Hmm.
But it's also been a name for the side suplex, so it's a weird one.
Yeah.
So, but you're not wrong. I think that would be a better idea and a better name.
Yeah. So after Sikoa won, we also learned that Roman Reigns had accepted the invitation to the press conference that was happening on Saturday between Logan Paul. And then we also learned that it was going to be about Crown Jewel.
Uh-huh.
And we also learned that Reigns would be appearing next week on SmackDown.
Yay, we're saved!
And then we had the main event, which was Chaos. We had a fatal 4-way for the number one contendership position to face the Usos, probably Extreme Rules, but it's a date to be disclosed. We also learned that Eric of the Viking Raiders was out and injured after a match with after the Viking Rules match with New Day, which was kind of ironic.
Yeah.
During the entrances, Imperium came out with Walter, and the Brawling Brutes came out with Sheamus as well, and they was like they were going to clash heads during this match too. But because the Viking Raiders were out, we had Hit Row versus New Day versus Imperium versus Brawling Brutes. Strange thing about this, the Street Profits have been removed from this card as well. And Imperium and Brawling Brutes have been added instead of the Viking Raiders and Street Profits.
There you go.
So who do you think won this one?
Fuck knows name these tossers. Let's go with Imperium. Why not?
Nope. WWE tied it up.
For fuck's sake.
You're even on this one now. The Brawling Brutes won this. Imperium hit the Imperium bomb on Ashante Diadonis, I think it was. And Ridge Holland got a blind tag, threw Imperium out the ring, and pinned Diadonis of Hit Row.
So Imperium actually went. Okay.
No.
No, that's why I heard Imperium won. That's what you just said.
Imperium won it, but they had it stolen by Ridge Holland.
Yeah, Imperium won. You see, you just said it there. So.
The stupid thing about this was at the end of the match, we found out that this title opportunity had already been disclosed. The announcer just hadn't been told. This title match is happening next week. So they not only have they had to do this twice. Oh no, the Alpha Academy was supposed to be in this match as well. But because it was supposed to be a 4-way eliminator match, and last week Braun Strowman returned and knocked everybody out the ring on Raw.
Yeah.
So yeah, not only did they have to do this again because of Braun Strowman's return, and they had to do it with different people because of certain people's injuries. This isn't even for a pay-per-view main event title match spot. This is for the bog standards Friday night SmackDown.
WWE once again proving they don't care about tag team wrestling.
And that was this week in WWE.
Oh joy. You didn't rate the show.
I gave it 6.
Ah. Okay. Kaylee.
I gave it a 10.
No, that's the end of the wrestling talk, which you know what that means.
It's the end of the show.
And I'm going to kick off the end of the show by letting you know, Peter, that on Raw, you scored 6 and WWE scored 5. On NXT, you scored 12 and WWE scored 6. And on SmackDown, you scored 3 and WWE scored 3.
Isn't it bad that I can do better than they can? I didn't even fucking know what's going on. Tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it?
Yep.
if Kaylee's not going to speak, I will. Do you know the Arthur Ashe card?
Arthur Ashe card?
AEW next week, it's Grand Slam.
Oh, right, yeah.
Do you know the matches that got added?
Only the ones that have been mentioned on screen.
Okay, so you know the Rampage ones then?
I think so, yeah.
Eddie and Sammy.
Yep.
Sting and Darby against Brody
Matthews
and
and
Matthews.
Brody.
Yeah. Okay. The Battle Royal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so cool. Then you probably do know. All right. So, yeah. Oh, and Jericho and Cesaro.
He was going to put that in my mouth and then I was about to bite you and then throw up.
Yay! Tighten the first sex tape. Right. Is that cheesy Big Mac we were talking about before, was it?
I'd rather the cheesy Big Mac than a peanut cookie or feet.
Is that dessert? Is it the peanut cookie?
I'll crack your toes for you. No, it ain't. I can't stand nuts.
She likes toe jam.
And she likes to bite the skin off the water on her big toe, though.
What war?
Sorry, mole.
And it's not on my big toe.
That is your big toe, 'cause it's bigger than your big toe.
Longer, yes. Thicker, no.
Oh, you got Kelly. You got to be careful with Aaron. He doesn't understand the difference between bigger and longer.
Trust me, I do.
So, Aaron, what is your view on blood sports?
I can't talk about that on Twitch.
No, just in the abstract. Would you possibly be interested in dipping into it, maybe?
I'm not saying anything. It's because I've been with someone that you're related to, so I'm not saying anything.
I mean, currently, dumbass.
I know the answer to this question. You don't need to know.
Oh, I don't care what the answer is. I just like it. I just like putting him on the spot. It's fucking hilarious. Because he doesn't know how to do it to me, which is hilariously funny.
I've done it to you in the past.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit. There's a big difference.
It's true.
It doesn't work when the person actually doesn't give a shit about it.
Not me.
Oh, kinky sex time.
Speaking of which, I should probably make a move because she's got work in the morning and I've been up for 12 hours already.
Wow, you should stop taking that Viagra. It bloody hurts.
But it's bloody good.
No, tell me about it.
Well, you've been up for 12 hours on end. It should have gone down by now. You need to see the doctor.
Where's fun in that? Get my use out of it before he's incapable of doing it again.
In all honesty, on a serious note, if you're ever in that position and it's been 12 hours, there's actually a problem.
Also, if someone's fallen and done something and they've got a boner, do not move them because it's a spinal injury.
I feel like a right prick now. Sorry, what? Yeah, you should always be careful with people when they fall down, though, regardless, definitely. But Kelly's very hands-on with her approach. She likes to get her hands right into the matter.
Yeah, I do. I like to get down and dirty.
Yeah. She doesn't believe in plaster. She prefers the hands-on approach.
Hands on, hands off, hands on.
Wax on, wax off. Wax on, not wax off.
What?
She watched the Karate Kid one too many times. Paint the fence, sand the floor.
Pull the lever and open the car door.
Pull the lever, crunk. Wrong lever.
When she starts trying to bounce on the bow of the boat, though, you need to stop her doing that.
I didn't hear that.
I said, when you start trying to balance on the bow of the boat, it needs to stop you doing that.
I'll never let go, Jack.
Yeah, look what happened to fucking Jack.
He got sucked off by a mermaid. Win-win.
Is that why Ariel looks so pale?
You've heard of dancing on ice? Well, that ice was too thin.
Well, at least Jack's last words that he had were under the sea, under the sea, under the sea.
I'm sure there was plenty semen about.
Yeah, all trying to look after Rose, apparently.
All very moist as well.
Oh, you're right there, Kaylee.
Great.
Do you not like Rose then?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Sorry, what was that? You do like Rose?
I'll let you think whatever you want to think.
I'm just asking a question.
I definitely think there was more room on that fucking door than what she gave credit for.
There was, but DiCaprio's a...
I mean, but I
can't say
thought she was bangable.
I can't say the word I would use to describe DiCaprio on the stream, but he's... and, yeah.
Better piece.
Is she bangable? To me, no, but at the same time, I'm not into necrophilia. What, Aaron? If she was real and she was still alive, she'd be over 100 by now.
I'm on about Kate Winslet, you twat.
I was on about the character. God.
No, I was on about Kate Winslet.
Ugh, I'm not going to touch Kate Winslet in a 10-foot barge pole.
Oh, I love her.
Well, you fucking have her then.
I will.
You can have her mother as well.
Add to the list.
Her mother? Who's her mother?
Mrs. Winslet.
Oh, Monday.
Aaron's like, why are you helping him? Why? See, Aaron knows how this goes, which is why he's very quiet most of the time, because he knows what's going to happen. Yeah, it's like, here is the bat, hit yourself on the head. Here is the bat, hit yourself on the head.
Nah.
Here's his bat, hit yourself on the head. Sorry, what? Bada, 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 swing, bada.
Nuts.
So, Kaylee, do you like cricket at all? Because I understand you like whacking the willow.
Can't stand cricket.
Well, that's what happens when you play with the bat. You actually polish it and shine it and then just hit the balls with the willow.
Just do the hand gesture because I don't know, like.
And every so often you shout, how's that?
Oh, it's great.
It's so much fun because Aaron knows exactly what I've just done there. Thank you. Aaron, I'll send you a diagram and a flow chart. You can explain it to her later.
I mean, it doesn't need to be a physical demonstration.
It can be. but not by me. Aaron have to do it.
For that, see Peter's OnlyFans.
I don't have an OnlyFans. I am too expensive for that.
No, you just follow instead.
Follow?
I don't know, whatever you do on OnlyFans. I've never had one. Follow, subscribe, either, whatever, I don't know.
I think you subscribe from what the creators I know have told me.
Oh.
Well, no, I know people who do it, so I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure subscribe from
Depends
them.
whether they like my feet or not.
Caring too much for colours, right?
Nice.
Just out of curiosity, right, Kaylee? If you made one, would it be called Caring with Cheese?
No, caring
Mac
with curdles.
Caring with what? Sorry.
Caring with curdles.
But you're like
Lumpy?
what does
Is it
that
like
have
beating?
on?
Is it like when you make a Yorkshire pudding and you just beat it off too much? What?
It's like freshly made bread sauce.
And sometimes it gets stuck in the things, so you have to lick it clean.
Well, I don't know whether I want to eat that or spit it back in someone's mouth.
You sound like you've heard that before.
No, thank you. Not today.
Which implies you'd do it another day. Okay.
Well, I want to go to bed, so I think I'm going to end my stream.
Yeah. I, like you, do need to go to bed in a minute anyway because I have more stuff to do. So, Kaylee, is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we do disappear?
No, I'm good.
You're good? When that fucking happen?
Fuck knows.
I don't. And that's called flapping right there.
It's actually called schlucking.
Airing out.
It's called. I would say it's called spring cleaning, but it's a few months too early for that.
You're getting her confused with my mum. Anyway.
Feather duster. Okay.
I swear that was supposed to be my dog's name. I swear that's supposed to be our dog's name.
Oh, poor Bruce. You don't deserve that.
No, he deserves a lot worse.
Also, definitely. Also, keep Charlie away from me. I think Charlie suffered enough.
Probably.
I miss Charlie and Bruce.
He's probably dead. He's probably on his last legs, to be fair.
Captain Positive over here.
Oh, I'm not lying. He's a really old cat.
Oh, Charlie, yeah. He looks like when you look at him.
All of his mouth's starting to rot and his teeth have all gone and everything. It's horrible.
Oh, my poor Charles.
Well, Aaron said it. He's old. That's what happens to them.
Hence why we're not getting another pet.
He literally just sits on them. He sits on the mantle of the staircase. And if you get too close to him, he'll meow right in your face and you'll just get the breath hit you. And you'll take a couple of steps back.
Well, that's the thing. Do you know why Kaylee doesn't want to have a pet, don't you?
Mm.
She's afraid you'll get a cat and he'll be sat there stroking another person. And it'll purr.
Wow.
And it'll just get wet at your touch.
Whoa.
I can go further if you like.
Nah.
No, you good?
So
Did you end your stream, by the way?
I'm in the process, so I was just finding someone to raid.
All right, yeah. On Twitch, I think they get kicked off if you did that.
More than likely.
Because I heard about a Twitch streamer who actually got banned for doing that.
Naughty.
They were back on after a month, but they still got banned.
Yeah. So we're gonna raid out to Flower and Shadow TV. They're a couple streamer. They're currently streaming Dead by Daylight, which is a horror game for those people who may not know, where you can play as a killer or a survivor. They're a really nice couple. They stream together all the time. They used to have 2 separate channels, but they've been a joint channel for a little while now. If you want to give them a follow, feel free to. Their content's really good to watch and quite funny. So, yeah.
Cool.
And I will see everybody Wednesday probably for some We're Crafting Wednesday. Or I may do a stream tomorrow because it's the new season of Fortnite and I haven't checked out the Battle Pass or anything yet. So, I will see everybody when I see them. So from me and Peter and Kaylee,
Bye.
bye for now.
Now,
It's doing the whole ready to raid thing.
yeah, you have to wait for Aaron to just sort this out.
And every time we leave, we do.
I don't know why it's not working.
AK.
Saying that I cancelled the raid.
I remember you trouble doing this last time.
Yeah.
Kaylee, does Aaron struggle to do this review? Does he have performance issues?
Never.
No, there you go then. So it's definitely Twitch then.
It's just when we're both at home, the internet's splayed out a little bit more. So obviously we've got multiple
Kaylee.
devices.
Quit playing with it, it'll go blind.
I can't help it.
The internet can't take it.
Sharing with colors with the raid.
Yeah.
And then somebody said run. Welcome in, Harry.
I just felt that's really close to the computer.
That should sort things out.
On hitting that one hit shot, because I can't hit.
There we go. Oh, what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, what's happening?
I was just glitching in and out.
Well, there they go. Issues with Twitch and all that fun stuff. Anyway, guys, you can always check out Aaron's streams. Generally Wednesdays, usually Saturdays as well. But you'll always find out that stuff.
Sorry, had to close the tab.
Yeah, I kind of figured. So
It was having a funny 5 minutes because I ended the stream on OBS.
Is it this one? Or is this one?
right, so that's the Twitch shut down there, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that just leaves us with the YouTube guys. So you guys can check out Aaron's streams when he does them. So he mentioned what I just now was leaving the Twitch, so you can find him that way. And then anything else, of course, he wants to promote.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you'd like to promote right now?
I'm on TikTok as well. If you can find me as Aaron CWC. Oh, Aaron_CWC.
Ah,
I'm close
sick.
to 500 followers at the minute, so I'm hoping to get to 1,000. So that way I can get a creator badge on Fortnite.
Cool. Cool. So, and obviously we about streams and stuff. So yeah, there's that. Right. Let's. So yeah, next weekend should be alright for me, I believe, at present. So we'll have to see about that.
Mm-hmm.
Just this week's been a bloody
Yeah.
a lot. So
If you can give me a heads up in advance, if you can't do it, I'd appreciate it.
yeah, it should be alright, I think, next week, because I've got a wedding on the Saturday, but I don't think it'll affect the Sunday. So
Yeah, it's not a problem.
but it's local, so it will local-ish.
Fair.
So unlike some of the stuff I've had to do recently. So.
Yeah.
Well, the wedding's still London. It's just it's a different part of London, so it makes it easier.
Mm-hmm.
The fun part comes when it's a bit further afield. I don't mind doing them, but it kind of throws off the day afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Kelly needs to be up for work in a bit, and you need to get some rest as well. So cool. So shall we say goodbye to the YouTube fellas and then go from there?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So YouTube guys, we will probably see you next weekend or next Sunday and various bits and pieces. Aaron's apparently going to meet Kaylee, which I'm sure she'll love.
I will indeed.
So from me here, from Kaylee over there, and from Aaron down there.
No.
No, not quite, Peter.
Aaron's going to the sushi bar in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, we'll say goodbye to you all.